Prologue. Part 1. After returning from the country of casinos, Elroad, I'm currently counting my money at the tavern in the guild. I did get involved in some really troublesome matters there, but I did receive some serious compensation from Prince Levi as a result. Thanks to that, my wallet has never felt fuller. Seems like I can live in the lap of luxury for a while. First, to wipe away the anguish I suffered in Elroad, I should pay the succubi a visit. I've spent the journey surrounded by nothing but small-chested women, and spent quite a bit of time locked in a cell on top of that. Living an ascetic life for such a long time has pushed my self-control to the limit. I have enough money to afford their services right now. There's no issue with getting an amazing dream tonight. That store doesn't only sell dreams, but has an amazing atmosphere too. Seeing all those succubi walk around in clothes that might as well be underwear is sure to wipe out all the stress I've accumulated in this journey. It's really creepy when you smile to yourself like that, you know? I thought we spent quite a bit of money in Elroad, but it seems like there's still a significant sum left over. The person who looked into the bag of coins was Lynn, the only girl and resident spellcaster of my party. I have 2 other members in my party, but it doesn't seem like they are in the tavern today. I gave the bag over to Lynn to give her a better look. There is a reason why I was given so much money as compensation. If news got out that the Prince of Elroad that made their fortune through gambling lost to an adventurer famous for having poor luck, it'd be bad for their standing, right? Oh, don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to blackmail the prince or anything. It's just, I'm worried that I might accidentally blab about it if I get drunk on cheap beer. My wallet has been feeling awfully empty today. I wonder if there's a kind prince who can fill it right up. When I said that to the prince, he happily produced a large bag of gold. This is just to be expected when you have my skill at negotiations. That's just blackmail. I still can't believe you had the guts to threaten the prince of a nation like that. You worry too much. I made sure to emphasize that I'm a close friend of Kazuma, so things will be fine. Prince Levi seems to be infatuated with Iris, so he already doesn't think highly of Kazuma. He will definitely direct his ire towards him, so I'll be safe for the moment. I won't cover for you if Kazuma finds out. Still, it's a relief to have such a windfall. Yeah, we can live in the lap of luxury for a while. What are you talking about? We have to send this all to Rain-san. This sum is only going to just barely cover the penalty for failing the quest she gave us and the late fees for renting the dragon carriage. Lynn snatched away the bag of gold. What? Wait a minute. That'd be like as if I worked for free. In the first place, this is the first I've heard about the penalty or the rental fees. That's because you left all the troublesome negotiations to Taylor. Besides, the reason we are in such a mess is all your fault. The only reason why we couldn't complete the quest or return the dragon carriage on time is because a certain someone got thrown in jail. What, do you have any complaints? She gave me a sharp gaze that brooked no arguments. It's all the truth, after all, so I can't think of a good excuse. Not at all. Lynn got to her feet with my entire life savings clutched between her hands. Damn it, so it's the pauper's life for me yet again? Chapter 1 Part 2 It has been several months since then. The town of Axel is just as lively as ever. There was a period of time when Kazuma vanished off to the capital for what seemed to be for good, but he ended up crawling back anyways. That explosion girl's little sister also came to town to play for a while. That was an experience. Apart from that, there was also the matter of Darkness's secret troubles. Well, if nothing else, I can't say that this town is ever boring. It isn't the kind of life past me could have imagined. I muttered while nursing my drink at the tavern. Why are you getting all melancholic for? It doesn't suit you at all. You ran out of money again, didn't you? That waitress was complaining about it just now. You order nothing but water, so if you order another glass she's going to dump a whole load of salt into it. I haven't been getting much salt recently, so that's just fine. Dust, if you don't rein it in, she might actually put poison in it. I thought only Lynn was here, but it seems like Taylor is hanging around too. It's Dust we are talking about. Even if he actually drank poison, all he'll get is a stomachache, right? Keith said as he sat down next to me. I was enjoying my time alone, but for some reason all my companions chose this moment to show up. If I do end up with a stomach ache, I'll just sue the guild for a large amount of money. You really are trash. It's a little too late to be saying this, but wow. Don't sigh like that. It's like you're putting on an act. In this world, as long as you have money, you can get by. So, lend me some money. Say, do you know the meaning of the phrase, saving up? Lynn said in a gentle tone, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. I've heard the phrase before, but I don't know what it means. He said it so boldly. Do you not even know what a poor state you're in? Man, this guy is really something. I don't ever want to go down to his level. The two of them were saying something. I can accept getting lectured by Taylor, but that's the last thing I want to hear from Keith. The only difference between me and Keith is that he is just slightly luckier. You know, the only reason I seem like a trashy person is because I don't have money. If I have money, my mind and soul will be cleansed of worries and I'll be able to live a virtuous life. You've heard the saying, the rich cares not for the struggles of the poor, right? So, lend me some money. No way. Do you have any intention of getting off your feet and earning money with your own hard work? Not at all. I want to earn money without having to put in hard work. If I am to work, it will only be because I can earn big bucks with little effort. Otherwise I'm not working. Not ever. At the exact instant those words left my mouth. Emergency quest. Emergency quest. All adventurers in the town, please gather at the guild hall immediately. That announcement echoed throughout the town. I looked over to the guild counter, and Luna, the receptionist, had a magic item that allowed her voice to be broadcasted through the town in her hands. It's been a while since we had an emergency quest. I wonder what is it this time. It isn't the season for cabbages just yet. Hopefully it isn't another Demon King's general knocking on our gates or something equally troublesome. But, Taylor, if it isn't about cabbages, what other matter would make them call for an emergency quest? Keith placed a hand on his chin and looked over in my direction, but there's no way I would know anything about that. I shrugged my shoulders, and the announcement continued. I repeat, all adventurers within the town, please gather at the guild hall immediately. All adventurers. At this point, Luna took in a deep breath before shouting. The treasure island has appeared. The moment we heard that, every single adventurer in the guild, us included, got to our feet and rushed to the counter. Hey, stop pushing. Make some space. Who is the bastard who elbowed me? Hey, don't touch my butt. I'm here first, move. There are already quite a few adventurers making a fuss around the counter, but I can't afford to back down here. There are enough rucksacks, helmets, and pickaxes for everyone, so there's no need to rush. I pushed my way through the adventurers and desperately extended my hand. After somehow managing to get my hands on a set of equipment, I flew out of the guild along with my party members. Around us, several other adventurers who were similarly equipped were already running full pelt towards the town gates. We can't afford to lose here. What a great stroke of fortune. To think that we'd happen to be the treasure island's target this time round. I've heard the rumors, but I never thought I'd be able to see it in person. If I recall, that divine beast only surfaces once every decade or so to bask in the sun. I didn't expect it to surface near Axel of all places. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. We can't let it get away from us. We have until the sun sets. Once that happens, the divine beast will once again delve back into the depths of the earth. I'm going to stuff my bag until it's bursting. They call it a divine beast, but basically it's just a gigantic turtle, right? Leave the ropes to me. I'll use my arrows to drive them into the very best spots. Keith is really useful in such situations. He has the farsight and snipe skills, so he should be able to secure a good spot before anyone else gets in the way. The so-called treasure island is, just like Lynn mentioned, the common name for a divine beast. It bears a resemblance to a gigantic tortoise, and normally lives deep underground. However, once every 10 years or so, it'll come up to the surface for a day. It seems to subsist by eating rare ores, so whenever it surfaces, a large amount of rare ores and other valuable minerals will be stuck to its shell. This is why it's called a treasure island. The adventurers rushing towards the town gates aren't after the tortoise itself, but rather the mass of rare ores and minerals that it carries. Seriously? I mean, I heard the rumors, but I knew it was a gigantic tortoise, but I didn't expect it to be this gigantic. The treasure island spread out its honestly humongous body just by the road near the gates of the town. Its size can only be compared to that of a small mountain, and every bit of that mountain is covered with precious ores. By all appearances, it seems to be just taking an afternoon nap. Its eyes are closed, its legs were splayed out, and it seems to pay no heed to our existence. Seeing such an unexpected display of power caused me to stop and swallow a breath. It's not just huge, its very presence exudes a solemn aura. I understand why people refer to it as a divine beast. Oh, right, we don't have time to just stand around. Keith, I'm counting on you. Leave it to me. Does that spot seem good? Keith tied a rope to a claw-tipped arrow and fired it to one of the tallest peaks on the tortoise. After confirming that it's firmly attached, all of us climbed up as a group. Hey, get out of the way. That's my spot. After securing a particularly shiny spot, I waved my companions over. I thought I heard a familiar voice, and when I glanced over, I could see Kazuma and his party off in the distance. Sir Vanir and Wiz were with him too. Seems like I'll have to get on with it if I don't want someone else to beat me to the punch. Alright, start digging. Dig until your arms feel like falling off. We are never going to get another chance like this again. Feel free to treat everyone around you like they are enemies. I don't need you to tell me that. Even Lynn had a wild look in her eyes as she swung her pickaxe around. The reason why she's so uncharacteristically excited is most likely because of the jewel-like clumps that fly out whenever her pickaxe hit home. It's said that women are weak to shiny objects. Though I suppose in this case, that also applies to men. Still, just as I heard in the rumors, we'll be able to easily gather a large amount of precious ores from this treasure island. Alright, I'm going to dig until the turtle goes back underground. The people around me were working with the same maniac fervor. Though, the only people around me were all adventurers. You'd think that the residents of the town would also come out to grab a piece of such a profitable occasion, but there is a reason why they are staying behind the town walls. Ah, damn it, I hit a rock mimic. When I turned to look towards the sound of that scream, I saw a man getting grappled by a creature that looked very much like a grey octopus. As its name suggests, a rock mimic is a troublesome creature that disguises itself as rock formations. Because of their presence, the people who aren't able to defend themselves had to stay away. Dust, please help me. The adventurer asked me for help. Of course, there's only one response I could give. You idiot. You're not that weak, are you? I have faith in your ability to defeat it. Go for it. Even on the off chance that you do die, I'll properly mine out that spot for you, so you can move on without any regrets. You bastard. Are you abandoning me? You're thinking that if I bite it, your share will be increased, right? What's this guy saying? Isn't it obvious? This is a battlefield. Weaklings who can't defend themselves best turn tail and run before they lose their lives. I'll show you the high quality ore I managed to get afterwards, so you can cry tears of joy then. If someone were to drop out, that'll just mean more money for the rest of us. We have no obligation to save you. If anything, I should be thankful for the existence of the monsters. Keith joined in, his eyes blinded by greed. Right now, every second counts. I have no time to be concerned with others while there's a mountain of treasure lying right before me. Plus I am very well aware of that guy's abilities. He might struggle a little, but he shouldn't have any issues taking care of that monsters. though it'd probably take some time for him to defeat the monster without help. Do you guys not have a shred of humanity in your heart? You idiot! Adventurers are never more than a few steps away from death. Everyone here should have already accepted that reality long before they even stepped foot on this beast. Lending him aid is an insult to his resolve. Ah, I found a huge manatite. With this, I've secured enough money to pay for this month's drinks. You really are. Hang on, I'll be right over. I can't just leave him there. I'll go with you. Lin and Taylor went over to help the group that's struggling with the rock mimic. Those two really are soft-hearted. They should be more concerned with their own finances over the well-being of others. Keith and I ignored them and continued digging. Dust. What? You're annoying. If you have time to flap your gums, you should be moving your arms instead. I just hit a jewel mimic. Looking up, a giant shimmering octopus-like creature was wriggling towards us at high speed. Lin, Taylor, lend me a hand. You guys too, don't just stand there, help. I asked the adventurers around me for help, but they barely looked up from their mining. Hey, aren't adventurers supposed to help each other in times of need? You heartless bunch. Keith shouted, but they ignored him too. Lin and Taylor started digging around the area of the group that they helped, and didn't glance over in my direction at all. That bastard even gave me the middle finger. Even if I make it rich, I ain't treating any of you. Damn it, Keith, let's take care of it. Keith. Wait, where are you going? Before I knew it, Keith had already run away to a safe spot. I have faith in you, Dust. With this, there'll be one less adventurer competing with us. I'll pick up your bones later, so rest easy. You bastard. You best remember the eyes. With my sword in my right hand and a pickaxe in my left, I lunged towards the jewel mimic. In the end, even though it took a lot of time, I managed to take out the jewel mimic. Fortunately, the treasure island stayed up long enough for me to fill my bags even with that interruption. There were plenty of things I wanted to say to my companions and the people around me, but I was too exhausted to press the issue. I didn't even have the energy left to book a room in an inn. I simply fell asleep as soon as I made it to the stables. Part 3. Hey, come on, get up already. What's going on? A sudden loud voice by my ear brought me to my senses. When I looked around, my eyes fell upon a familiar face. When did you learn to speak in such a wild manner? Though, it's much better than the stiff tone you usually use. What are? My apologies. It seems I was still half asleep. Why did I speak in such a rough manner? It's just like you to sleep in the same stables as the dragons. That person laughed, her white teeth glinting in the morning sun. Say, did you hear about it? What matter are you referring to? I pretended to be ignorant and answered her question with a question. To be honest, I know exactly what she's referring to. And I also know exactly what she wants me to say. It's fine if you don't know. Say, when exactly are you going to give me a ride? That would never happen. As I've mentioned before, it's way too dangerous. What? You petty bastard. Her cheeks puffed up like a squirrel's, but I know she isn't being serious. I really don't want to think about what she's like when she really gets into a mood. Sama, you really shouldn't be using such words. You sound like my grandfather. I properly behave myself in official settings, so this much is fine. I too know the right place and time to let my hair down. As long as you're aware. This happens all the time, but she really does love teasing me. Even so, she is the prink. How long do you intend to sleep for? I didn't really get much time to sleep after going with you last night. Oh, hey, Lin. Did I misidentify her because of that dream? Lin's expression changed from one of exasperation to one of surprise. What's with your words? They really creep me out. What did you think of my nightly interpretation? I heard that knights with high income and a stable lifestyle are really in these days, so I've been practicing to prepare myself for marriage fraud. Oh wait, don't tell me, did you heart just skip a beat? Of course not. Stop doing stupid things and get up already. Seems like I managed to smooth things over somehow. That was really close. I must have been really tired to mess up like this. I used to see that dream pretty often, but it's been a long time since I had it. Did I finally get over it, or am I having too much fun right now that I can't even be bothered to remember the past anymore? Anyway, Yun was looking for you. It's rare to see her go out and search for someone of her own accord. Did she manage to grow as a person? I wonder. We called out to her because she was standing close to us, fidgeting and repeatedly shooting glances at us. Otherwise she probably wouldn't have told us anything. You're making her sound as suspicious as heck. Come on, isn't it about time she could at least talk to my companions normally? I wonder what Yun wanted with me. When I walked into the guild, Yun was seated in the corner seat by the window. Her gaze was darting every which way in the guild, and her entire demeanor just oozed anxiousness. Keith and Taylor were seated a short distance away. Seems like they want to give us some space. Right, I'll see you later. Lin moved to join Taylor and Keith at the table, so I took a seat opposite Yun. What do you want with me so early in the morning? Do you want me to lend you some money or something? I haven't fallen that low. Well, you see, there's a favor I need to ask of you. She fiddled with her fingers as she hesitantly spoke. Ah, I see what she's trying to say. Oh, a confession, huh? Sorry, but I don't really find girls of your age attractive. Come back in 3 years if you still feel the same way. It's not a confession. Even I have the right to choose who I fall in love with. Recently, rumors have been going around about how I've been tricked by some good-for-nothing delinquent, so it's getting harder and harder to approach people. What are you going to do about that? Heck if I know. Anyway, didn't you have something to talk about? If you don't need me, I'll be heading back. I have a very important job to start drinking in the morning. That isn't a job. Arg, just listen to me. Usually she'd criticize me a little more. Something's different about her today. It's normal for her to be tense, but she only usually does that if someone else is present. When it's just the two of us, she is usually far more relaxed. Well, I suppose I could at least hear her out. I really didn't want to ask you for help, but there is no one else I can turn to for help. I'm really reluctant, but please dash, if you don't like it, then go ask someone else. Oh, right, you don't have anyone else. Very well, lonely little crimson demon, I shall hear you out. Feel free to tell me about your troubles. Please stop imitating Vanir-san. This is why I didn't want to ask you. Yun angrily slammed on the table. Seems like I teased her a little too much. Seems like it's a pretty serious matter to her. Okay. Anyway, stop beating around the bush and tell me about what you need my help with. Whose fault do you think? Well, you see, Dust-san But, if I bring Dust-san back, will Dad get the wrong idea? After a brief start, Yun once again started mumbling to herself. A waitress happened to pass by just then, so I beckoned her over. Hey, waitress, bring me some beer and something filling. This girl would be paying. Right, Yun? Yes. Yun seems to be lost in her own world and offhandedly agreed. There you go. Make it snappy. With this, I can fill my belly on someone else's dime. Sure, I can easily afford such a meal right now, but I'll never give up the opportunity to eat for free. As I started digging into the meal that was brought before me, Yun raised her head with determination. I've made my choice. Dust-san, please come with me to the Crimson Demon Village. Gak. It went up my trachea. Kya. That's dirty. Those words were so far from anything I expected that I couldn't help but spit out my beer. Hey, we aren't even dating yet, so isn't it a little too early to meet your parents? That's not it. Even I have the right to choose who I date. I mean, it's a personal request. I want you to go to the village and undertake the chieftain's trial with me. In order to become the next chief of the Crimson Demons, one needs to go through a trial that requires 2 members. So will you please team up with me? I'm a spellcaster, so I need someone to protect me. After saying that much, Yun stared at me, her cheeks blushing slightly. I see, so that's what it is. If the chieftain's trial is to be undertaken with a team of 1 Crimson Demon and 1 other member, then the other person should by rights be a swordsman or a knight or some other frontline class. The only person that Yun knows who could be called a vanguard is me. I do want to praise her for thinking of me when she wants a reliable man, but, I made a fortune off that treasure island the other day, so I don't need to work right now. Though, if you can introduce me to some busty Crimson Demon ladies, I wouldn't mind going along. It really is a shame. Right now, I'm loaded with money, so I don't feel like working at all. At least consider it for a moment. How could you say something so scummy? Scummy? Come now, the only reason one performs hard labor is to earn money. My wallet is overflowing right now, so what possible reason is there for me to exert myself? If you're friend, if a girl you know is in trouble, don't you feel any desire to offer aid? Not at all. If you desire my help, then you best bring me a rich, beautiful, erotic woman who's head over heels for me. Your demands just increased. Arg, never mind, I'll just ask someone else. With that partling line, Yun got to her feet and sped off. What's with her? Is she entering her rebellious period? Couldn't you have given her a better answer? I feel so sorry for her. Lin said as she sat in the seat recently abandoned by Yun. What better answer? That's my honest reply. She really came in at the wrong time. If she asked me before the treasure island, I might be willing to go with her, but now that my wallet is overflowing, I don't feel like working at all. I can only say she asked the wrong person. It seems like she wants a vanguard, so it doesn't seem like I can be of help. Crimson Demons are expert spellcasters. Their naming sense and culture is a little weird, but no one can deny their skill when it comes to magic. From what I've heard, Yun is considered quite exceptional even amongst Crimson Demons. If she has to ask for help, that trial of hers must be quite troublesome indeed. Well, if she really can't find anyone else, I might consider it. I don't think she'll come back after you refused her like that. Still, does she have anyone else to turn to? Now that Lin mentions it, the only people in this town that Yun can easily talk to would be that explosion girl, Sir Vanir, and me, pretty much. And then I suppose there's Kazuma. If it concerns the Crimson Demon Village, she'll probably reach out to Megumin's companions, which includes Kazuma. His friends call him Scumzuma, but he is a good-natured person at heart. If you look past her loner nature and social awkwardness, Yun is a pretty decent person. To someone who's surrounded by quirky companions like Kazuma, she's a refreshing breath of fresh air. Plus, Kazuma is the kind of person who can't refuse if someone requests his aid. I'm sure it'll work out somehow. Still, I'm surprised you refused, Dust. Really? Yun might seem pretty normal, but the Crimson Demon Village is filled with people as crazy as the Explosion Girl, right? That's a den of insanity. The Crimson Demons are a race of battle maniacs. From what I've heard, every single one of them is a powerful archmage and think nothing of casually using advanced magics. I don't want to visit the hometown of those people if I can help it. Well, naming sense aside, the Crimson Demons are famous for having a lot of beauties. Wait a minute. What did you just say? You've seen Megumin and Yun, right? The Crimson Demons are famous for having a lot of beauties. And, you've heard Kazuma talk about how they don't get a lot of contact with people outside the village, so a lot of their women are desperate to meet other men, right? I think I've heard Kazuma say something like that over a couple of drinks. I was pretty deep into my cups back then, so I forgot most of it, but, yeah, he did say that. Hey, where did Yun-san go? I'll be glad to go with her. She left the guild a long time ago. What a shame. To this girl, what's so amusing, smiling like that? Damn it, I let this opportunity slip by. A village full of beautiful women, huh? If that's really the case, I could have put up with their craziness and strange culture and naming sense for a while. I looked out the window, gazing wistfully at the prey I let slip through my fingers. Just then, a sudden boom echoed throughout the town, followed shortly by a large cloud of smoke somewhere in the distance. Is that Problem Child doing her daily explosion routine again? She's a crimson demon too. You know what, I think I'll pass on taking a trip to the village after all. Part 4 I had money to spare, so instead of drinking at the guild, I enjoyed a pint at a bar situated at a corner of the shopping district. When I leaned back and savored the taste of high-quality beer, a strange man walked into the bar. He was wearing a full-body black robe complete with a hood. I wouldn't pay too much attention to him normally, but his face had that hint of androgynity that marks him out as a lady killer. You don't often see this kind of person walking around in this day and age. Judging from his appearance, I doubt he has a respectable occupation. Most likely, he's an adventurer. I haven't seen him around before. That must mean he's a newbie. Educating the newbie adventurers of this town is pretty much my job. As usual, I'll put on some pressure and extract a tuition fee from him. Hey, isn't that Kazuma? What is he doing? Kazuma seems to be observing the black-robed man from a distance. Is he an acquaintance of his? I suppose I can spare some tuition fees if that's the case. Hey, Kazuma, what's up? You've been staring at that man for a while now. Don't tell me you bent that way. Or is he a friend of yours? Of course not. He's not really a friend of mine either. He isn't? Then you won't mind if I do something to him, right? When I approached the hooded man who was enjoying a drink alone at his table, he turned to look at me. The closer I get, the more his face looks like the sort women go crazy for. I'm certain they will be lining up to throw themselves at him even if he doesn't do anything. I'm getting angrier just by thinking about it. Oh, I haven't seen your pretty face around before. My name is Dust. I'm a little famous around these parts. What did you suddenly come here for? Do you have some business with me? He has the voice of a lady killer too. There isn't even the slightest hint of a tremor in his voice. Maybe I should turn up the pressure a little. I already named myself, so shouldn't you name yourself too? Don't you know what courtesy is? My name is Duke. I'll ask again, do you have some business with me? He replied calmly. I'm sure he's actually shaking in his boots and only putting on a tough front. That's a common response. Just a little push should be enough to set him over. You're a new adventurer here, right? I just said it, but I'm a little famous around these parts. It'll save you a lot of trouble down the road if you treat me to a drink. Ho, you wish to extort money from me. I see, there really are all kinds of folks out there. It's not often I experience something so interesting. Oh, what a prideful boast. He sure looks cool standing up, but I'm not one to back down so's. What the hell is this guy? I can feel an intense pressure emanating from him that sunk down to my very bones. Was this guy hiding his strength? This pressure is something that far outpaces any of the run-of-the-mill monsters you can find. What should I do? I can't freak out and back down here. It'd be one thing to be looked down upon by this guy, but I have everyone else in the bar to consider. Heh, you passed. Yes, that's how adventurers should be. For us, it's all over if we get looked down upon. That's why I frequently call out to newbie adventurers like this. If they are the kind of cowards who honestly fork over the money, I'll tell them that they aren't suited to be an adventurer and go back to their mother. And for someone like you, how about a drink? Is that so? You're quite interesting indeed. With that, Duke sat back down. Yeez. I managed to worm myself out of that somehow. That was pretty good, if I do say so myself. I bet it'd be good enough for a performance on stage. Maybe I should try to become an actor. I waved the waitress over and ordered a drink for this guy before making my excuses and leaving. I casually walked over to Kazuma who was still observing us from a distance. Hey, Kazuma, what the hell is he? If you knew he was such a dangerous person, you should have told me. I ended up having to treat him to a drink. Kazuma seems exasperated, but he seems to be interested in Duke's true strength. I told him that he's probably strong enough to go toe-to-toe with a Demon King's general, and he fell into deep thought. Even though I warned him, Kazuma still ended up approaching Duke, and somehow managed to hit it off with him. Just what was Kazuma doing here in the first place? A few days later, I found myself in that bar again. Just like the other day, Duke was sitting alone at a table. It's probably best for me not to get involved with him, but I am a little curious as to why Kazuma is so interested in that person. As I looked around, a woman wearing an expensive dress that was completely out of place in this commoner's bar entered through the doors. She's wearing extremely thick makeup, but that's darkness, right? What's she doing here all dolled up like that? She took a seat beside Duke and started conversing with him. But, well, the best way to find out why she's here is to ask her directly. Hey, isn't that darkness? What are you doing here with a dress like that? This isn't a shop fit for nobility, you know? Hey, lady of the Dustiness house, now that you're here, why don't you treat me to a drink? Darkness made a deeply displeased face upon seeing me. Have you mistaken me for someone else? I am Dash. What are you talking about, Lalatina? It's me, Dust. We've adventured together and gone through a lot of other stuff too. Don't tell me you've forgotten about that. What's with this girl, treating me like a stranger? Hey, is she suddenly grabbing my hand? She hasn't gotten desperate because Kazuma wouldn't. Oh, she just gave me a bag of coins. I don't really get it, but I guess she's telling me she can't talk to me right now. Oh well, I guess I can go elsewhere for today. I could head to the succubus shop with this money, but I spotted Kazuma and the party priest observing darkness from a corner, so I decided to stick around for a little while more and watch how things went. She seems to be trying to hit on Duke. She's putting a lot of effort into it, but it doesn't seem to be working out. In the end, all Darkness got for her efforts is a whole heaping load of embarrassment. Judging from the way Kazuma and Aqua were happily watching him, they must be having some kind of bet. It's probably something like, the first person who can make that stiff-looking man crack wins. She might have a problematic personality, but for Duke to remain stoic in the face of that body of hers must mean that Duke prefers someone the complete opposite of her. If that's the case, I know of someone who'd be perfect for making him crack. It'd be nice to see him flustered for once. There you have it, so please help me. No way. I have no reason to seduce a complete stranger. When I paid a visit to the succubus shop and made the request of lowly succubus, that was her response. Ha, and here I thought you could make even the most handsome hunk fall for you with your charms. Oh well, I guess it's only natural to refuse a fight you can't win. Sorry for asking you. Please don't think I'll just wrap myself around you finger just because you take a few stabs at my pride. Oh, she's grown. In the past she would have fallen for my provocations easily and done everything I wanted her to. Come to think of it, why am I so fixated on that guy? Now that I think about it, he isn't really worth getting this serious over. I struck upon this idea back when the alcohol was coursing through my blood, but now that that's gone, I don't really care about it. Ah, fine. I am a little curious as to what that guy is up to, but never mind. Come to think of it, Kazuma was saying something about him wanting to take Wiz as his wife. Tell me more about that story. What? Why did you come this close all of a sudden? Don't stare at me with those glittering eyes of yours. Where did your listless attitude from before go? I only overheard him talking about it, but apparently he's trying to make Wiz his wife and getting her to retire from running her shop. She's getting married. If she retires from being a shopkeeper after married, that means that Vanir-sama will be running the store all on his own. Then he will obviously be short-handed and have to hire some help. Then, I'll be employed as the store girl, and as we spend time together during our work, our love shall bloom. Yes, that is how it will go. That's how it must go. Why, you know, it's really creepy when you talk to yourself like that. After a long time muttering under her breath, lowly succubus suddenly raised her head. Why is she smiling like that? I'll hit on that guy for you. Ah no, I don't really care about that anymore. No, I'll do it. Please let me do it. In the face of lowly succubus's sudden burst of enthusiasm, all I could do was silently nod. That night, I found myself back at the tavern. Peeking inside, I quickly spotted Duke seated at one of the tables. It seems like he's alone this time, as usual. Is she not here yet? Maybe I should just head home. Please don't go home. She called out to me just as I was about to head home. I frowned when I noticed the clothes she was wearing. Hey, what's with those plain-looking clothes? You're going to seduce someone, you know? Wouldn't you normally wear something more revealing that'll make them want to jump at you? She's wearing the clothes she usually wears to make her appear like an average village girl. You would think it'd be easier if she wore the lingerie-like clothing that they wear in the succubus shop. You just don't get it. According to my research, men find it easier to call out to someone more modest rather than someone who dresses skimpily. Ah, I see. True, a sexily dressed woman seems like she'd be used to getting hit on, so it's hard to make a move on her without getting drunk first. She might look this way, but I suppose she's still growing as a succubus. Of course, it'd be better if her chest or butt were to grow instead. Are you thinking about something rude right now? That hooded person is the target, right? I see, he is quite handsome. These types of people tend to have a high evaluation of themselves. He'll be easily hooked if I pay him a few compliments. That's the basis of all customer service. Lowly succubus quickly came up with a plan. She seems quite confident in herself. I guess I can have a little bit of confidence in her. Right, please use your skills to have that irksome pretty boy fall for you. What are you talking about? I may be a devil, but I plan on acting like an angel today. I stand to benefit if he gets together with Wiz, after all. Wait, that's not what we dash. Lowly succubus went into the tavern before I could complete my sentence. She then walked over to Duke's table and sat down without even asking for his permission. She sure becomes aggressive whenever Sir Vanir is involved. I was a little worried, so I sat down at a nearby table to observe the situation. Hey there, Oni-chan, would you mind talking with me for a bit? Oh, she's taking advantage of lowly body type and attacking from a younger sister angle, huh? She's giving him upturned eyes while talking with a sweet voice. Seems like she's improved her talent at acting. Not bad. Seems like she hasn't wasted all that time we spent talking about the finer points of erotism together. If he was a lelicon, he would have fallen immediately, but, what are you doing? Is this how you plan on seducing? This smell and aura. Are you a lesser devil? What are you? No, I'm not saying but saying. She took so much of a shock that she's just speaking nonsense now. Still, just what kind of person is he to be able to tell that she's a succubus so quickly? Things might end up really badly if it continues this way. It's best that I make preparations to split. I leaned forwards in my seat and perked up my ears. What is a lesser devil doing here? Did Vanir Dano put you up to this? Is he on guard now that I've made my intentions known? Duke stood up, releasing a fearsome aura. In the face of that, lowly succubus shrunk back in fear. That's not it. I thought I could help you make sure things went well with Wiz. I'm here to cheer you on. You too. It seems like a lot of people are on my side for some reason. What an interesting town. Seems like the peril was avoided. I leaned back into my seat and heaved a huge sigh. However, I do not enjoy spending time with devils or the undead. You seem to be an acquaintance of Vanir Dano, so I'll let you go for today. Make yourself scarce. Why yes. Lowly succubus trudged out of the tavern, and I followed after her. Dust-san, just what is that person? If you knew he was someone so dangerous, you should have told me. I could have lost my life back there. With tears in her eyes, she repeatedly beat on my chest. I think I recall saying something similar to Kazuma the other day. Isn't he one of your kind? That immense aura of his certainly seems similar. I don't know. He knows Vanir-sama, so I thought he might be a greater devil of some kind, but he did say he hates devils and the undead, so is he just a regular strong person? Or is he one of Vanir's underlings? Either way, I think it's best if we don't get involved with him anymore. I'm a little curious as to how the whiz thing is going to turn out, but it's best not to play with fire. I'll have Kazuma tell me how things turned out sometime later. A few days after that, when I've completely forgotten about that incident, I entered Sir Vanir's store, only to see Wiz crying on the table. Sir on the other hand seems to be in a jovial mood, and was restocking the shelves, ignoring Wiz entirely. Wah! I've had enough. It's too much. Wah! I can pretty much tell what happened, but I should probably ask about the details. Sir, she's crying really badly. Did something happen? Did it have something to do with that pretty boy, Duke? The moment his name left my mouth, Wiz shivered and began crying even louder. Indeed. It's merely a simple story where some left on the shelf woman having a misunderstanding and thinking that she's popular, and ended up self-destructing as a result. It's great that dark emotions are readily available every day, but her weeping is rather bothersome. In other words, she thought he was proposing to her, but that wasn't the case? Even worse, the other person came to this town to defeat the incompetent shopkeeper. Do you not think it's a perfectly miserable and hilarious conclusion? You should have seen it for yourself. Fuhahahaha. As Sir Vanir broke out into laughter, Wiz stood up behind him. She had an expression like that of an ogre. It was an expression I never thought I would see on such a kind-hearted person like her. This is bad. Sir, behind you. It's cold. I'm freezing. A bone-chillingly cold blast of air started coming from Wiz. My breath immediately started creating white clouds, my body trembled in the cold, and my teeth chattered together noisily. On one side is a former adventurer once widely feared as the Ice Witch, and on the other side is Sir Vanir, whose strength I know all too well. If they were to fight seriously, this entire store will be leveled to the ground. What are you up to now? It's not yet the season where we require air conditioning. Are you perhaps trying to cool your body that has been warmed up in the throes of passion for so long? Still, you should not lower the temperature inside the store to this degree. It would be most troublesome if my prime wine were to be breezed by your freezing sneeze. Oh right, it was already worthless. My apologies. Even if it's you, Vanir-san, there are some jokes you shouldn't tell. The temperature seemed to fall even further. This is really bad. If I stay here, I'll definitely die. I forced my trembling body to move and somehow managed to tumble out of this death trap of a store. I thought I could hear laughter and someone screaming from behind me, but I was too busy warming up my body and making it to a safe distance away to pay attention. From that day onwards, it became taboo to talk about marriage in front of Wiz. Part 5. Say, what would you do if I said I was getting married? I was rubbing down the body of my dragon when the princess suddenly sprung that onto me. Princess, I've mentioned many times that you shouldn't come to the stables. It's fine, so who cares? It's not like there's a lot of things for a princess to do anyways. What a willful princess. Outside of official events, she is always this free-spirited. I've lost count of the number of times she sneaked out of the castle and caused an uproar. If you picture a tomboy princess, there's probably no one more fitting than her. Say, you're not thinking of something rude, are you? Of course not. What's with that pause? Never mind. Anyway, back to what I said earlier, what would you do if I got married? Most likely, I would be assigned as a guard for the wedding ceremony. As a dragon knight, I'll probably be assigned to securing the place from the skies. It seems like she wasn't satisfied with my answer. She didn't bother to hide her displeasure as she looked at me with skeptical eyes. You know that is not what I'm asking. Wouldn't you normally say something like, if I was separated from my beloved princess, I would shrivel up from loneliness and die? Right? If I was separated from my beloved princess, I would shrivel up from loneliness and die. Why are you saying it in a monotone? The princess angrily stomped on the ground in response to my poor attempt at appeasement. She seemed to be frowning, but I think I can see the edges of her mouth rise a little. A stiff and humorless dragon knight and a free-spirited princess. I don't know if it's because we have completely opposing personalities, but she often comes to talk with me. Sometimes it's to consult me for aid with serious problems, but for the most part it's simply idle chatter. As for which category that previous question fell under, that's not for me to speculate on. After all, I'm only the heir of an impoverished noble house. Again, give me a break. The skies visible through the narrow slit that pass for windows in the stables is speckled with stars. So it's already night, huh? I recall jumping into the hay to warm my freezing body after narrowly escaping that death trap of a store, but I didn't expect to fall asleep right there and then. For some reason, my memories of that time seem to be resurfacing. It really hurts to see what an absolute stick in the mud I was back then. I don't think I'm ready for a serious development yet. Normally, I would head out with my friends and party till the night is gone, but it feels awkward to meet with Lynn right now. Guess I'll go have a drink by myself. I'm going to go to some small dinky out-of-the-way bar and get myself stupid drunk. Drunk enough that I won't have any dreams for the rest of the night. Part 6. Things have been quiet in Axel lately. Part of the reason is that, since the Treasure Island appeared, all the adventurers in town have been busying themselves with finding ways to spend their money instead of causing trouble. But the biggest reason is that Kazuma and his party have left town. Without the sound of an explosion going off every day, things have been quiet around here. Lady Lalatina, who constantly causes trouble despite being the sole daughter of the Dustiness family that has taken over ruling this town after Alder ran off, isn't here either. It feels a little lonely not to have Aqua liven up the tavern with her party tricks every night, but being able to enjoy a few drinks in peace and pick up girls isn't too bad either. The only problem is that I'm almost out of money. I made so much money off the treasure island, so how did it disappear so quickly? All I did was splurge a little, drink and gamble. I complained under my breath as I walked into the guild. The guild seemed a little quieter than usual. Also, there was a woman whom I've never seen before. She was a beauty with straight, shoulder-length black hair. In terms of her figure, she isn't lacking in that department. She isn't as filled out as Luna or Darkness, but she certainly puts Lin to shame. The main problem is her outfit. She wears a white priest-like robe and had a mace hanging off her hip. Combined with the gentle smile that she wears, she looks to be an ideal priest. Her body and face are both great. In particular, I like the seductive look in her eyes. Normally, I would have tried to hit on her by now, but I have nothing but bad experiences when it comes to priests. Every single priest I've run into have all been shot in the head in some way. That girl looks beautiful at first glance, but I won't be fooled again. She seemed to be looking for someone, so I gave her a wide berth as I walked into my seat. Just then, some loud voices could be heard coming from outside the guild. As if, X3, Kazuma, whose side are you on? That's definitely Kazuma's party. Just like I guessed, Kazuma strode into the guild, followed by the party that has become locally famous by now. Guess it won't be quiet in this town any longer. Listening in on his conversation with the receptionist, it seems like he managed to take down some high bounty target and earned another fat sack of gold. I'll have to get him to treat me sometime soon. Just then, the female priest walked over to Kazuma. Could you be Satu Kazuma-sama? Was she looking for Kazuma? I have heard a lot about you. I've been awaiting your arrival. My name is Serena. I hope this is not too sudden, but is there any chance you're willing to let me join your party? After seeing this completely unexpected development, everyone in the guild, me included, fell completely silent. What is that priest saying? True, Kazuma's party does have a lot of accomplishments under their belt, but no one in this town is insane enough to willingly join that party. It's not just us who were taken aback, even Kazuma and his party couldn't believe it and started suspecting that she might be up to something else. Aqua in particular seems especially angry. Is she worried about losing her place in the party? In the end, Kazuma refused her, and the female priest, Serena, left. That woman smells particularly fishy. At first glance, she seems just like some outsider who mistook Kazuma's accomplishments for his ability, but something in my gut is telling me to be wary of her. It's best to keep a close eye on her for now. Part 7. The next day, while I was having a meal with Lin, Serena appeared in the guild again. I don't think I've seen that priest around before. She asked Kazuma if she could join their party yesterday. You're joking, right? Well, that reaction is just to be expected. I do think Kazuma is really skilled as a leader, but, well, the other three. She must be really brave to want to join a party like that. Kazumas were already famous as a party of troublemakers, but we know exactly how troublesome they are after closely observing them in Elroad. If Serena was just ignorant of that, I wouldn't have paid her too much attention, but she seems to be gathering adventurers around a corner of the guild for some reason. Now then, will all adventurers who are heading out on an extermination quest please line up here? I'll be casting a long-duration support buff on you. The adventurers who heard that got into a queue without a fuss. It's rare for a party to have a priest amongst their members, so to parties like us, getting a support buff is greatly appreciated. She does seem like a proper priest, doesn't she? I kinda want to invite her along the next time we go on a quest. Do you know what sect she's from? Well, she's definitely not part of the Axis cult. It goes without saying that the Axis cult would never do something like this for free, and even if they do use magic, they would definitely go, praise me more, or join the cult, or donate some money to the cult, and the like. Serena hasn't done anything like that so far, so I can say for certain that she isn't an Axis cultist. She could be said to be the ideal priest that most people have in their heads. That's exactly why she's fishy. Just as I was looking at her with suspicion, Kazuma and his party entered the guild. Almost immediately, Aqua started picking a fight with that priest, but was easily outreasoned and soon backed down. I don't like this. I said in a voice just loud enough to be overheard by Kazuma and his party. I don't like this. I've never seen such a priest-like priest before. The others might have fallen for your wiles with a simple support spell, but you can't fool me that easily. As far as abilities go, Aqua Wani-san who revived me before should have the upper hand. I stand on her side. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. There's no way such a pure-hearted person could exist in this world. Especially priests who constantly try to push some strange recruitment form to you, complain about the Eris Church, and spend all day lazing about in casinos and taverns. All the priests I met behaved that way. So there's no way a proper priestly person could act like a priest. I felt like I thought something that didn't make sense just now. Before I could pursue that line of thought, one of the guild staff shouted out towards us. All adventurers, I hope you'll work hard on the extermination quests today. Now then, today's situation is somewhat different. That's odd. Normally this would be about the time the guild staff started putting up quest notices on the board, but there doesn't seem to be anyone doing that right now. Instead, they took out a piece of paper and continued speaking. The truth is, last night, a large outbreak of undead appeared near the public cemetery, so we would like you all to focus on exterminating them today. It's fairly close to the town, so there's no telling when the citizens will be threatened. In particular, we request all priests to please take part in this extermination. A large outbreak of undead? We don't have a single priest in our party, but Kazuma does have an exceptional one. Only when it comes to her abilities, mind. With that in mind, I looked towards Aqua. For some reason, Kazuma, Darkness, and Megumin were staring at her too. What? Why is everyone looking at me like that? I properly purify the graveyard every week. I didn't slack off this time. Didn't you slack off before? Kazuma said with an exasperated tone, and Aqua furiously denied. Could it be that she did something to create this incident? Hey, don't look at me like that. I properly did my work this time. It's not a lie. Fine, just you wait. I'll show you what an archpriest can really do. Just me alone is enough to deal with zombies and skeletons. Aqua loudly boasted. However, it is true. With her skills, she'd be able to take care of it in an instant. Seems like this would be an easy job. Just like the guild staff reported, there was a horde of zombies at the cemetery. After confirming their numbers, all the adventurers present, me included, frowned. There must be 100, no, over 200 of them out there. This is the first time I've seen so many zombies. I anticipated their grotesque appearances, so that didn't bother me too much, but there is another, more pressing problem. It stinks. The stench you get when you bring so many zombies together really is something. I haven't taken a bath for 3 days, but I don't think anyone can notice that in this stench. Dust, don't come any closer. I can smell the stench of your hair just by standing here. Oh hey, that zombie's body looks pretty good. Isn't she your type? Lynn said, pinching her nose while looking at Keith and me. She's missing half of her chest. Don't think I'll go for anything just because it's a girl. And my type is someone whose face isn't rotten. Wait, hold on a minute, Dust. If she was revived, wouldn't she look pretty hot? Keith, you are a genius. Maybe I could go talk to Kazuma about it later. Obviously not. Lynn interrupted the serious conversation I was having with Keith. I was talking in order to distract myself, but the stench is starting to become too much for me to handle. Damn it, the stench is making my eyes water. Crap, I think I can feel my breakfast trying to crawl out of my stomach. Hold it back, Keith. Still, how did such a large band of undead appear without anyone noticing? Just what is the groundskeeper doing? Every one of my party members is regretting choosing to take part in the extermination quest. Zombies are slow and sluggish, so they are usually treated as fodder monsters. However, when so many of them are gathered in one place, their very existence is a powerful weapon. The awful stench is making everyone present gag. Let's just have Aqua-san purify all of them and head back. That's just passing all the work to her. But, well, I'm not brave enough to charge into that mob, so if guess we'll have to leave it to her this time. All of us looked towards Aqua, only to see darkness clinging onto the explosion girl who seemed to be excited after seeing the horde of zombies. She probably tried to fire an explosion into them. Not only would that level the graveyard, it would also send rotten meat flying all over the place and turn this entire region into a stinking mess. Kazuma seems to understand that too, as he drags Aqua closer to the horde. Right, let's blast the zombies that look like they'd get in the way with magic. Even if it is an easy job, we have to put in at least a little bit of work. Being able to eat without working is fine and all, but I have to burn off some calories from time to time too. Yeah, I'd feel bad if I don't at least do that much. Leave the defense to me. That's what a crusader is meant to do, after all. Right, I'll send a few arrows their way too. The other adventurers too sent some support to cover Kazuma and Aqua. Everything else aside, Aqua's abilities as a priest is top-notch. Just as that thought crossed my mind, the voice I've been waiting for echoed through the graveyard. Turn undead. The entire graveyard was covered in a bright light. I couldn't help but be impressed with the wide area of effect of her spell. Guess that's it then. Talk about anticlimactic. Hey, the zombies look completely fine. If anything, they look more energetic than ever. When the light disappeared, the zombies that were covered by it still remained active. What's the meaning of this? Was that part of the plan? With that in mind, I looked over to those two. Haoa. Aqua, isn't dealing with undead is your only strong point? Do something about this. This is strange. This is really strange. These guys might not be undead after all. I've never seen red-eyed zombies before. And, wait, Kazuma, why are you distancing yourself from me? Aren't we party members? Aren't we friends? Did her spell really not work? Then now isn't the time to stand by idly. The people around me were starting to panic as realization dawned upon them. Everyone was under the impression that things would turn out fine if Aqua was here, but it's a completely different story if her spell didn't work. In a battle against this many zombies, it wouldn't be a surprise if a few fatalities were to occur. Just before the first of the zombies got into melee range, Serena strode to the front. Despite the situation, she alone remained calm and pointed towards the horde. Turn undead. With those words, a strong wind picked up and blew forth from Serena's outstretched hand. When it blew over the horde, the zombies that were completely unaffected by Aqua's spell collapsed like inert puppets one after the other. Ooh-hoo! X5 did Serena wipe out the entire horde with a single spell? I'm glad that the extermination quest is over and done with, but somehow I can't bring myself to be completely happy over how things ended up. Part 8. The moment we made it back to the guild, the air became busy with the sound of invitations. It seems like every single party wanted to get Serena to join up with them. However, it seems like she's dead set on joining Kazuma's party, and rejected all such invitations. Hey, aren't you going to invite her? Normally, you'd be first in line. Lynn gave me a suspicious look. Seems like she still has a lot to learn about me. I mentioned it when Aqua came up, but I just don't like priestly behavior or anything of that sort. That doesn't sound right. Weren't you always going on about wanting a priest in the party? If we get someone like that in our party, it'd be too stifling for me to even breathe. I'd rather have someone easier to get along with. I'm fine with her as far as appearance goes, but the problem is the personality. If that's the case, perhaps an Axis cult priest would be more fitting? Please don't joke about that. At Taylor's words, I glanced over to the blue-haired priest hanging by Kazuma's side. Now, I'll throw this pinecone into that cup on the table. Then, from the cup, She's trying to pull of some party trick. An Axis cult priest, huh? Nah. However, that woman doesn't sit well with me. She's pretending to be charitable, but I bet she'll say something like, I defeated all the zombies, so I should have the entire bounty to myself. Just then, I overheard the conversation Serena was having with another adventurer. Still, is this really okay, Serena-san? This extermination was pretty much handled entirely by you alone, so giving up all of the rewards to spread amongst ourselves. I'm a woman of the cloth. As long as I have enough to pay for food and shelter, that's more than enough. Serena said with a smile. I was wrong about her. What did you just say? I got up and walked over to Serena. I thought you were different from the moment I laid eyes on you. Unlike a certain disappointing archpriest, you truly are a wonderful person, especially how you don't lust after money. My wallet is feeling really empty right now. Anyone who is willing to increase the amount of gold coming my way is my friend. What a great person. Yeah, this is what a priest should be like. Chapter 2 Part 1 On this day, I didn't have any of my companions with me, so I was planning on enjoying a lazy breakfast by myself. I went down to my usual seat at the first floor of the guild and tapped on the table to call a waitress over. It's a little annoying, so can you please be quiet? It's getting in the way of business. The exit is over there. I just came here. I'm a customer too. I want to order something. The waitress with short red hair strode over with a frown. The Eris Church is handing out soup today. If you go now they'll probably allow you to have 2 bowls. Isn't it great? Why do you automatically assume that I don't have any money? I have money from time to time too. Hurry up and give me the menu already. Come now, there's no way that'd be true, right? The waitress said, barely hiding her laughter. Yeah, there's no way he would have money. Dust wouldn't be dust if he wasn't poor. Otherwise he'd be just a regular adventurer. That's not even funny as a joke. If you want to earn money as a stand-up comedian, you've got to get some better material. The other adventurers seated around the area chimed in. Damn it, these guys are completely looking down on me. Hey, even I occasionally come into money too. Here, take a look. What does this seem like to you? I pulled out a few coins from my wallet and let them clatter to the table. This doesn't seem to be fake. What is with this money? I won't become an accomplice to a crime if I accept it, right? You can spend time in jail by yourself. I didn't get the money illegally. It's the prize money I got from those zombies at the graveyard. You guys got the same money too. Since Serena graciously refrained from taking any of the prize money, the rest of us got a bigger share, and thus I had enough money to pay for breakfast today. Most of the other adventurers gained plenty of money during that incident too, which is why, even though it's still early in the day, there are plenty of adventurers lazing about the tavern enjoying lavish meals. Anyway, enough about that already. Bring me something filling. Hurry up. And you guys, stop checking if it's raining spears. The people sitting near the windows immediately opened them and gazed into the sky. TL note, is it going to rain spears is the Japanese equivalent of, did hell freeze over, or did the sun just rise from the west? Ah, well, they do say that the rich care not for petty concerns. Now that I'm rich, I won't lose my temper over such a small matter. Oh, this is rare. To think that you'd be here before us. It doesn't seem to be raining. There's hardly a cloud in the sky today. I guess miracles do happen from time to time. Is it going to rain spears? Or perhaps the sky is about to fall down. All 3 of my companions who finally arrived peeked out a window and gazed into the sky. This place really is filled with just the most disrespectful people. Nothing is gonna come falling down. Is it really that strange for me to be eating breakfast dash? Almost as if in response to my words, the sound of something breaking suddenly resonated through the guild. As we looked around in a panic for the source of that noise, something landed with a heavy thud in front of me. What's going on? The person that landed on my table is a young girl. Her pale skin and long flowing silver hair seemed to shimmer in the sunlight streaming in from the windows. In about 10 years, she'd probably turning heads whenever she walks down the street. Where did this girl come from? Did she break in through the window? Lynn seemed totally confused by the situation as she repeatedly looked between this girl, the broken window, and back. Keith and Taylor were in similar states. However, this girl doesn't seem to be in pain at all, and stared resolutely at me. That was a pretty flashy appearance. Are you injured? Regardless of her reasons for doing so, jumping through a window like that is bound to cause a cut or two. The girl was barefoot and was wearing only a simple one-piece dress. Despite that, as far as I can tell, she hasn't suffered a single wound at all. I found you, she said in a soft voice. What was that? I found you, master. What did this girl just say? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you say it again? Emist, the girl repeated in a far louder voice than before. A silence fell upon the guild. Did she just call me master? Hey, what kind of joke is dash? X3 my companions let out a disbelieving scream, and just like that, the guild erupted into a cacophony of voices. Dust, you bastard. You would even make a move on a girl that young just because you can't get a woman? And she's calling him master too. I'm sure he's blackmailing her somehow. Dust sank his poisonous fangs into a defenseless young girl. I always knew he would do this someday. I gave the surrounding adventurers a stern glare to shut them up and turned towards my companions, who had been silent all this while. It's good to have such reliable companions. I knew they would trust me enough not to believe. Dust, so you were only pretending to like big breasts, huh? You've been spending a lot of time with the flattest girl in that store, Lolisa, recently, so I thought that was a little suspicious. If you turn yourself in, they'll be less harsh on you. Don't worry, I'll go with you. Keith and Taylor grabbed my shoulders. Ow. You're digging into my shoulder. Damn it, I can't get free. Hey, come on, this is obviously a prank by that kid. Listen to me. Lin, don't just stand there, say something too. When I appealed to my last shred of hope for aid, she gave me a cold gaze that felt like it could stop a charging monster dead in its tracks. Lin-san. I always knew you were scum, but I didn't think you'd be this bad. If you have any last words, I'll hear you out. Am I going to die? Lin raised her staff and steadily drew closer. Even if I wanted to run, Keith and Taylor had a death grip on my shoulders. At this point, I couldn't even get up from my seat. A soft glow started gathering at the tip of the staff. I'm going to die. Don't bully master. The young girl leaped in front of the staff and spread her arms. Don't do that, it's dangerous. I'm going to do something really grotesque, so it'd be too much for a little child. Lin said something really dangerous sounding, but the little girl just repeatedly shook her head. No bullying. Sigh. Oh alright, I won't bully him, so relax. If you have any objections, I'll hear you out. Seems like my life was saved thanks to her. No, wait a minute. In the first place, the only reason why my life was in danger was because of her saying all those weird things. Objections. Well, in the first place, who is this kid? Say, have we even met before? Playing dumb even when you've been caught red-handed, you really are gutsy, aren't you? Don't point your staff at me. I really don't know. If I ran across such a unique girl before, even I wouldn't forget about her. But I have absolutely no recollection of her. Still, there's something off about her. What's with this sense of nostalgia whenever I look at her, I wonder? Silver hair and pale skin. I feel like I'm missing something. Even if you are going to lie, you could have at least picked a more convincing line. I'm not lying. Hey, brat, are you sure you haven't mistaken me for someone else? The little girl got up to her feet and stared closely at my face. Have you forgotten? Even if you say that while looking at me with tearful eyes, I can't remember something I've never seen. And I definitely don't recall ever meeting a young girl with silver hair. Have you forgotten how you rode me and went wild? And she said something even worse than before. You told me it feels good to let it all out. Hey, please say you're lying. Otherwise, I'll be joining all those corpses we defeated yesterday. I'll forgive you for that joke, so, wait a minute, could you be Fate 4? I grabbed her shoulders and desperately tried to get her to correct her statement. Just then, a nostalgic name suddenly popped into my mind. As I looked into her eyes, I suddenly felt an immense bloodlust coming from behind me. Slowly turning around, I was greeted by the monstrous gazes of my companions and every adventurer present. Part 2. Oh, is that it? You should have just told us that from the start. Yeah, though I always believed that Dust wouldn't be this awful of a fiend. Indeed, it's only natural to trust in your companions. I glared at my companions who were telling complete, bold-faced lies, but none of them looked my way. Instead, they were fawning over the girl, Fate 4. I already told you, I didn't remember. She's someone I knew from back before I became an adventurer. I owe a lot to her. Parents. After getting beaten black and blue by everyone in the guild, I managed to convince one of the priests to heal me in exchange for a glass of wine, and somehow managed to get back on my feet. After that, I managed to remember exactly who this girl is and quickly explained it to everyone. If I hadn't remembered, I'd be either in prison or dead by now. But, it would have been fine if you just told us about her. You were the ones who didn't listen. The reason I didn't recognize her right away is because she looks very different from when I last saw her. The subject of the conversation, Fate 4, was sitting on my lap and waving her fingers around. She seems to be fairly happy. Well, it's not uncommon for girls her age to change dramatically in appearance in a very short time. It's understandable that Dust didn't recognize her immediately. Yeah, I'm really regretful over my actions, so stop glaring at me. I'll treat you to a drink, so cheer up already. We are companions and friends, aren't we? I'm going to bleed Taylor and Keith dry later. Still, I wonder where her parents are. No one should leave such a young girl alone like this. Who knows? She's always been a little carefree. Maybe she saw me and decided to leave her in my care for a while. Fate 4 has always been quite fond of me, after all. I quickly spun a tale to smooth things over. For now, I need to extract myself from this place. I patted Fate 4 on the head, and she craned her neck to sniff my palm. This smell is nice. Hey, Lane Dash, hey, you were only this big when I saw you, so you probably don't remember it. My name is Dust. Go on, try saying it. And don't call me master or anything either, okay? That was close. I completely forgot about that. Just what is she saying all of a sudden? No one heard that, right? I didn't forget. Dust, no, Lane. Oh, you managed to say it. My name is Dust, you got that. She fixed me with an unblinking gaze. Don't look at me like that. I understand what you're trying to say, but for now, please just go along with me. I met her gaze and subtly nodded. I got it. Dust. That was a little more direct than I would have liked, but she seems to understand it. It's good that Fate 4 is so quick on the uptake. Fortunately, it doesn't seem like anyone picked up on what she just said. Anyway, what are you going to do with this girl? Are you really going to take care of her? Even though you can barely take care of yourself. Well, I don't have much of a choice. I don't even know where to start looking for her parents. The fact that her parents are in this town at all was a lie in the first place. Even if we were to search for them, it wouldn't turn up anything. Now that I've been reminded of Fate 4, I can't possibly leave her to fend for herself. Dust, are you okay? Can you really take care of a child? Well, I'll manage somehow. She's a pretty smart girl, after all. I took care of her back then, so it should work out somehow. When I patted her lightly on the head, Fate 4 grabbed a hold of my sleeve and tugged. Dust, I'm hungry. Oh right, food. Lin, is impossible. Come with me for a bit. I held her hand and brought her over to the reception counter. Spotting Luna polishing the counters, I decided to head over to her. Her bountiful assets are wobbling nicely today too. Luna, are you busy now? Not particularly. Is that girl the one who caused all that commotion earlier? I'm Fate 4. Fate 4 bowed, and Luna's expression instantly softened. Oh my, what a well-mannered girl. Yeah, she's pretty smart. Anyway, I have a favor to ask of you. Her stomach is grumbling right now. Can you please give her some? Don't say such pathetic things in front of a child. But, oh well, I can spare a meal at least. Luna, completely misunderstanding me, waved a waitress over. Ah, no, that's not what I needed help with. Can you give her some breast milk? With juggers that huge I'm sure you have some, right? Ah, don't worry, I'll keep a close watch so that no one will interfere. Gah. Who hit me? Behind me was a displeased-looking Lin with her staff in hand. If you keep fooling around, you'll get your adventurer's card confiscated. And more importantly, you looked at my breasts just now and said it was impossible, right? Just what did you mean by that? Ah well, you know, if they aren't big they are not going to produce anything, right? And for someone around Luna's age, it was at this point that I realized that I brought up the taboo. What was it about my age? Were you going to say it's expected for them to be married and have children by now? Don't you think that's discrimination against working women? She said that with a jovial tone, but there's nothing jovial about her expression. Is today a bad day for her? As I was looking for a way out from between these two, Fate 4 looked closely at Lin and tilted her head. Why is the princess here? Hey. Princess. Lin's rage disappeared in an instant after being faced with such an unexpected question. She's saying that you look as beautiful as a princess. Isn't that great, Lin? Thank you. If this girl stays here for any longer, she'll probably say something even more damning. Right, I'll buy a meal for you, so let's go outside. Without waiting for her reply, I picked Fate 4 up and rushed out of the guild. Hey, wait up. I heard Lin's voice behind me, but I ignored her and escaped from the guild. Once I'm a fair distance away from the guild and made sure that no one I knew was around, I put Fate 4 to the ground. Hey, Dust. Why was the princess there? That's a different person. You're a good girl, so don't say that to Lin ever again, okay? And don't tell anyone else about my past either. Yes, but she looks just like her. Ah, yeah. So she thinks so too, huh? I didn't want to talk about this matter anymore, so I took Fate 4 by the hand and walked around the city. I bought a few pieces of food from a nearby merchant, and Fate 4 greedily stuffed her cheeks with them. Say, why did you come here? I wanted to talk with you, so I came here. Also, I was lonely. She felt lonely, huh? Well, I do feel a little bad for leaving her behind. Is that so? In that case, I guess I'll have to stick with you. Now that I take a good look at her, she has really changed a lot. Long silver hair that extended all the way to her ankles and pale, unblemished skin. As for clothing, the only thing she was wearing is a single white one-piece dress, which is dirty and torn in many places. She didn't even have a pair of shoes on. I'll be really troublesome if we don't get you new clothes, in a lot of ways. Fate 4 is fine as is. Even if you are, we can't leave you like this. If other people were to see me bringing you around like this, they would think I'm an abusive father, or some pervert. Either way, the police will get called and I'll end up in prison. There are a lot of cops in Axel who have it out for me. If they see me dragging a little girl dressed up like this around, they'll definitely arrest me without a second thought. Definitely. Let's just buy some fitting clothes at some nearby store. Oh, Dust-san. Good morn. Oh, were you that desperate for money that you finally crossed the line? I had faith that you'd do it someday. I don't need that kind of faith. See, I knew someone like that would show up. I pretty much knew who it was from her voice, but just to be sure, I turned around, and of course, standing right there was Yun looking at me with a fearful expression. Those are definitely the look you'd give to a criminal. Police. There is a criminal here. Hey, cut it out. It's not what you are thinking. Every one of you say the exact same thing. This is the child of a friend of mine. Go on, introduce yourself. I'm Fate 4. Wah, so cute. She's like a doll. She doesn't seem to dislike it even though she's together with you. If you knew her, you should have told me. I thought you finally resorted to kidnapping. I was almost about to call the policeman over. You already called them. Do you really think I would commit such a serious crime so easily? Yun smiled at Fate 4 while she chewed on a skewer. Women really are weak to young children, huh? Anyway, never mind me. How are you doing with that chieftain's trail or whatever it was? That matter was safely. Safely? I mean, it's done with. What's with that suspicious answer? So you asked Kazuma for help, huh? How do you know that? Did you hear it from Kazuma-san? She sounded surprised, but really, it's quite obvious. Given Yun's personality and relationships, there aren't that many options available. In fact, there's only one. The only people apart from me you can talk to normally is Sir Vanir and Kazuma. If you brought Sir to the Crimson Demon Village, it'd definitely blow up. Plus he's not a vanguard anyways. I did consider asking Vanir-san a little bit. But I can't see any other outcome other than him teasing everyone back in the village and causing a catastrophe. A greater devil who enjoys pulling pranks on humans and an entire village of combative archmages. Yeah, that'll definitely result in quite the incident. Well, that's a wise decision. He might be lacking in combat power, but he is pretty quick-witted. Asking him to be your partner is probably for the best. Yeah. Kazuma-san is kind, unlike a certain someone, so he happily agreed to come along. She's putting a lot of emphasis on that certain someone. Ha. She's definitely referring to me, but, well, I'll let it slide. However, there is one point that I couldn't stay quiet about. Just who are you calling kind, exactly? Isn't it obvious? It's Kazuma-san. Ha. Don't you know that he's known as Scumzuma and Trashuma and the like on the streets? I'm often referred to as trash and scum or that bastard behind my back, or even to my face sometimes, but Kazuma's reputation isn't that far from mine. Oh, of course I know. But he's kind to me. He obviously has an ulterior motive. Most likely, he wants to appear cool in front of crimson demons that are known for their beauties. Kazuma and I are best buds, you know. As I declared, Yun froze up. Dust's best buds. Seems like my declaration sounded more convincing than I expected. Even Kazuma only says, he's an acquaintance, when confronted about our friendship. I'm pretty sure he's just being shy. That's why, when I run out of money, I have to get him to treat me to another round. Yun is spending the time to talk to me, so she probably has nothing to do like usual. It's worth asking, at any rate. Oh yeah, you are kinda a girl, right? In that case, do you know of a place where they'd sell clothes that would fit her? The kinda part bothers me a little, but alright. I know a lot of tailors around here. I frequently go out to window shop. Though I've never gone in with anyone else before. She just said something really sad, but in terms of finding ways to kill time by themselves, there's no one in this town better than Yun. This girl spends every day either hanging out in the guild, playing with the explosion girl, or wandering around town. Though she occasionally does go on a quest by herself. I would like to entrust a task to you, as someone who has mastered the path of the loner. Please pick out a set of clothes for this girl. Just something that would look good on her would do. Can I really? I've always been good at playing with dolls, so leave it to me. Ah, to think that the day that I can go out with a girl to pick up a cute outfit is finally here. I was fully prepared for her to reject me, but it seems like she's far more elated with the idea than I expected. I really shouldn't say this considering I'm the one to ask her to do this in the first place, but I don't get what is so enjoyable about picking out clothes for another person. Besides, if she really wanted someone to go with, she could always ask her out. Couldn't you go out together with that explosion girl? Megumin always wears the same dress, so she doesn't spend money on clothes very often. Plus, her fashion sense is, you know. Ah, I see. Come to think of it, Kazuma did tell me that Megumin rarely accepts money earned from their quests. Something about her being happy as long as she can use her explosion. She often shows up with an eye patch even though there's nothing wrong with her eyes, so I understand where Yun is coming from about her fashion sense. Her dedication to explosion magic that leads her to spurn even money is somewhat impressive, in a way. That said, I still don't feel like teaming up with her anytime soon. Fate 4 is fine as is. No, a girl needs to look cute. We are starting with a good base, so I'm sure you'll look cute no matter what you wear. Yun is surprisingly passionate for once. Fate 4 seems confused by what she's saying and merely stared at her in a daze. I can probably leave this matter in the hands of Yun. Part 3. Why do women take so long while shopping? I don't even want to think about how much time has passed since I entered this store. Fate 4 has been dressed up in countless outfits by now, but she still had the same expressionless face. No, actually, I get the feeling that she's getting a little fed up now. I knew it. I thought this set of clothes would go well on you. Though that was looked really cute too. Right? Have her try this set next. Oh my, how cool it. I almost want to take her home. I didn't know when that happened, but Yun and the clerk seem to have bonded over their mutual enthusiasm for dressing up Fate 4. The look in that clerk's eyes feels a little dangerous, so I think I'll pay a little closer attention to her. Yun is normally shy around strangers, but she's getting along really well with the clerk today. She must be so excited with dressing up Fate 4 that she completely lost track of her surroundings. Eventually, after spending an inordinate amount of time in the store, they finally settled on what they wanted to buy. We bought 2 sets of clothes and shoes, but you're broke as usual, aren't you, Dust? Hey, don't look down on me. I can afford to pay for a set of clothes or 2. What is with this ridiculous price? Are women's clothes made out of gold? I'll be lodging a complaint. I think these cost more than I normally spend on food in a month. Please stop. This price is normal. If anything, it's actually cheaper than usual. Oh fine, this is for Fate 4's sake, not yours, so don't get the wrong idea. Yun said with a proud smile. Oh, thanks. You know what, never mind. I'll pay for it. This girl took great care of me way back then. Paying for her clothes is the least I can do. I carefully counted out the money and paid for the clothes, and she changed right on the spot. Fate 4 is wearing a one-piece dress, but unlike the one she wore before, this one is vibrantly colored and clean. With this, people won't be giving me strange looks on the streets anymore. Oh, that looks pretty cute on you. Ehe. Fate 4 let out a rare blush. Dust-san is actually spending money for someone else's sake. And he's even giving a compliment to a child even though it wouldn't benefit him the slightest. The same Dust who wouldn't spend money on anything other than beer or gambling. Just what happened to you? Did you pick up some strange disease, or received a strong blow on the head? It's not that surprising. Don't point at me with a trembling hand like that. Just what happened to you? You aren't the kind of person who would treat a child this kindly for no reason. You aren't some strange monster wearing the skin of Dust, are you? What kind of monster would that even be? By the way, I don't have any skin down there. If you want I can show it to you. Oh, don't you dare cast magic here. If you do, Fate 4 will be dragged into it too. I can't believe you'd even use a child as a shield. Ha, say whatever you want. Anyway, I no longer have any need for you today. Thanks for the help, see ya. Thank you very much. Fate 4 bowed before quickly tottering after me. Glancing back, Yun was standing there with a glum look on her face. Now then, what should we do next? Do you have something in mind? I want to know what Lane Dust does normally. What I normally do, huh? Well, the order is reversed, but since you're wearing clean clothes, let's give you a clean body to match too. Let's head to the bath. Okay. I can think about what to do with her after a good wash at the public bath. Fate 4 seems to have the same expressionless face as usual, but I can tell that she's quite happy right now. Is walking hard on you? It's a little tough, but it's also fun. Even I can tell this isn't like me, but slowly I stopped caring about that. If this was just a regular kid, I would have pushed her onto Yun or one of my companions and went out to drink. What's a public bath? It's a large place where you can play in the water. I like water. Come to think of it, I always go wild whenever I go to the baths. No, wait, given my current circumstances wouldn't that work? Arriving at the public baths, I handed over a handful of coins over to the elderly man manning the counter. 1 adult and 1 child, huh? Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, let's go. When I grabbed Fate 4's hand and tried to go through the door, someone grabbed me by the shoulder. This elderly man is surprisingly strong for his age. What are you doing? I already paid, haven't I? That's my line. That path leads to the women's bath. I know, but I have to help her wash up. I'm really sorry about this, but please let me enter the women's bath together with her. Indeed, this is a compromise for the sake of Fate 4, who looks too young to be able to wash up by herself. Ha ha ha, you make a good joke. At her age, you should bring her with you into the male bath. Don't you think it's odd that a girl can be allowed to enter the men's bath? Old man, do you know what gender equality is? I've never let go of the child in my heart. In other words, I'm just like a child. You can trust me on this. No, I don't think I will. Damn it, I thought I managed to sell myself pretty well, but this old man just won't let go. If you continue to protest, I'll call the cops in addition to barring you from the premises. By the way, did you cause some trouble here in the past? If I recall, you were caught peeping dash. Okay, fine, I was in the wrong. Alright, let's head to the men's bath together. I said loudly, drowning the old man's words before heading to the men's bath. It's in the middle of the day, so it doesn't seem like there's anyone else here. Clothes are annoying. Going naked is better. It's fine while we are in the bath, but don't go naked outside. Especially not in a town like Axel that's crawling with weirdos. The image of a certain crusader who would probably stride through the town nude if given the chance sprang to mind. No, she probably won't do it. She does have her position to consider, after all. Still, I can't imagine that crusader with anything other than blushed cheeks as she happily strode through town. How do you wash your body? Oh, I'll do it for you this time. You can do it yourself once you remember. Dust, you sound different, but you're still kind. The great me is always kind at heart. Saying that, I started scrubbing her hair. Seeing such a familiar scene, I couldn't help but be reminded of the past. If I recall, back then, I was... Ah, Luna, you take baths in the afternoon too. Lin-san, what a coincidence. A part of the materials that one of the adventurers delivered turned out to have been rotten, and the odor is... I pressed my ears against the wall. That was Lin's and Luna's voices just now, right? Are the two of them on the other side of this wall right now? Damn it, if I knew that, I would have forced my way past that old geezer no matter what the cost. Dust, what are you doing? Give me a moment. I'm busy right now. Fate 4, her head covered with bubbles, stared at me. Please stop looking at me with those innocent eyes of yours. Are they getting bigger? What? What part of the body are you talking about? Tell me more details, Lin. Could you stop squeezing them with such a serious expression? Your skin is smooth and springy. It actually makes me a little jealous. Kia, don't suddenly poke me like that. What is she squeezing? Which part is she poking? Tell me more. In as detailed a manner as possible. Dust, my eyes hurt. I was so engrossed with my eavesdropping that I forgot to wash the soap out. From Fate 4's hair. This is a really bad time, but I peeled myself away from the wall. The voices have started to fade away anyways. Oh, sorry. I'll wash them away, so keep your eyes closed, okay? As I was rinsing her off with warm water, I felt a strange gaze on my back, but when I turned around, there wasn't anyone else in the room with me. That was odd. I was sure I felt someone's gaze on me. Could it be that a girl is peeping? The small stream of bubbles emerging from the bathtub fell completely beneath my notice. Part 4. After refreshing my body, I once again found myself acting as a guide to the town. That's a general store that never manages to sell anything. That pitiful creature manning the counter is known as a miser. If you get too close, you'll catch the poverty disease from him, so watch out. Stop filling a girl that young with crazy thoughts. You are the one who's poor all year round. Young lady, if that man does anything strange to you, remember to cry for help. I came across the general store where I occasionally kill time at, so I told Fate 4 about it, only to be met with false charges. Old man, do you have any junk that would fit this girl? I don't have a single piece of junk in my shop. Oh, sorry for yelling. That must have surprised you. I'll pick out something that suits you from the back, so wait for a moment, okay? The old man disappeared into the back room of the store for a moment, before reappearing with a necklace in hand. Here, take this. I'm sure it'll look good on you. Saying that, he attached the necklace around Fate 4's neck. However, it was clearly designed to be worn by an adult, so it didn't fit Fate 4 at all. Oh dear, the chain is a little too long. The jewel is going to hang on your belly like this. I can adjust the length, so do you mind giving it to me for a bit? This is fine. Thank you. Really? Well, I'll be here, so if you need it adjusted, just come back anytime. I don't have any money on me right now, so I'll pay you back some other day. Judging from the size of the red jewel on the necklace, it must be worth quite a sum. Thanks to the appearance of the treasure islands, the price of precious metals and gems has gone down quite a bit in this town, but even so, there's no way I would be able to afford that with the money I have right now. It's a little off for a girl that young looking to be wearing such a gaudy necklace, but she seems to have taken a liking to it, so I can't possibly ask her to return it now. You'll pay me back. Sorry, my ears aren't what they used to me. There is no way that Dust would willingly offer to pay for someone else's goods, right? I said I'll pay for it. She's very, you know what, never mind. Anyway, see you around. The old man furrowed his brow upon hearing that. If you keep worrying this much, your hairline is going to recede even faster, you know? It's a little gaudy, but a red jewel doesn't look too bad on you. It's valuable, so keep it under your clothes when you go out, okay? Okay. Her expression hasn't changed much, but I can tell she's in a good mood. After that, we proceeded down the back alleys. Oh, hell, when did we arrive at this store? Let's get going. Dust-san, the store isn't open yet. Lowly Succubus, sweeping out the front of the store, noticed me and called out. I fell into my usual habits and made my way to the Succubus store before I realized it. A young girl and Dust-san. She wandered over even though I didn't respond to her, and immediately started scrutinizing Fate 4. Unlike the others, she didn't immediately assume that I am committing some kind of crime. It seems like she is a better judge of character than I thought. I think I've gained some newfound respect for lowly Succubus. So, you moved from big breasts to the direct opposite and dangerous genre, huh? Even though you knew you'd be judged harshly for it. From big breasts to flat chests, and now even to young girls. I must really admire your drive to plunder the depths of erotism. Hey, cut it out. Stop treating me like a pervert. She doesn't seem to bear any ill will, but it still doesn't mean I'm happy to be talked about like that. Fate 4, meeting lowly Succubus's eyes, tilted her head and pulled on the hem of my clothes. Yes, she smells weird. Not human. Can I eat her? What is with this girl? She's saying some really dangerous stuff. Oh, she saw through her with just her scent, huh? Lowly Succubus quickly jumped back in shock and distanced herself from Fate 4 while maintaining eye contact. No matter how hungry you are, eating something like this will give you a stomachache, so don't. That's where you start. Plus, look carefully. She's all bones in her chest and butt. Even if you eat her, she won't be filling at all. Okay. She agreed. Even though I convinced Fate 4 not to eat her, lowly Succubus looked like she was about to cry instead. I just helped you there, so isn't this the part where you say thanks? This girl is harmless and peaceful, so pay her no mind. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, but who is this girl? I'm Fate 4. Is that so? My name is Lolisa. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Lowly Succubus replied nervously. It's a little weird to see her bowing and scraping before a young girl, but she seemed to be serious about it. Something feels really off about her. My devil's instincts are telling me that going against her is a really bad idea. That's just your imagination. This girl is the child of a friend of mine. I'm guiding her around the town right now. I'll pay a visit to the store later tonight. Wait a minute. It's really sunny out today, so. She went back into the store and came out with a wide-brimmed hat, which she placed on top of Fate 4's head. You have such beautiful pale skin, so you need to watch out for sunburns. Oh my, it really looks good on you. Thank you. Good girl. Even without me doing anything, she's picking up clothes and accessories as we go along. At this rate, she'll probably get given a house before too long. After bidding goodbye to lowly Succubus and returning to the main street, Fate 4 started saying she was hungry again. As a result, we went into a nearby restaurant, but her appetite isn't anything to scoff at. Before too long, a mountain of plates were piled up in front of me. You sure eat a lot. Yes. It was tasty. Dust, aren't you going to eat? I'm not hungry. Just water is enough for me. Come to think of it, she has always had a huge appetite, hasn't she? It's good to see her happy and all, but at this rate, my wallet is going to be empty within 2 days. I could make them run a tab or borrow some money, but I don't want to do that in front of Fate 4. That means I have to work. I looked at Fate 4, who was blissfully eating in ignorance of the financial troubles I had. She was eating with her bare hands without touching the cutlery at all, so her hands and mouth were covered in sauce. Hey, I'll wipe you off, so don't move. There, it's clean now. I can't stand it anymore. Just who are you? It's really creepy. Wah! Who the dash? A sudden loud voice exploded from behind me. I turned around, only to be met with the figure of Lynn, Keith, and Taylor. Were you guys following me? We were worried about Fator, but never mind that. Dust, what's with the way you're treating her? You're acting almost like she's your daughter. It almost feels like a completely different person. What did you do with the real Dust? I was keeping watch in the bath ready to jump out in case anything happened, but nothing did happen. All I could see was a regular, ordinary family. Taylor nodded in response to Keith's words. So these guys are the weird presence I sensed back then? Say, I'm just spitballing here, but that girl isn't your flesh and blood daughter, is she? You think so too, huh, Lynn? I was starting to think that it might really be the case. For someone who hates kids, you seem to be really enjoying your time with her. Just what the hell are these guys saying? There's no way Fate 4 can be my daughter. This isn't funny even as a joke. I've always been kind to women and children. The moment you see a beautiful girl, you'd be all over her. That's just me paying my respects to beautiful women. Just who exactly was the guy who tried to force a kid to pay his laundry bill when he accidentally spilled a drink onto you? Back then, I was just broke and happened to be in a bad mood. My companions gave me a doubtful look. I'm used to such gazes from them, but I really don't want to face the innocent eyes of the girl sitting next to me. Be honest with me. You were secretly laughing at me behind my back, weren't you, you traitor? And you've been getting along well with other women recently even though you're already married. Damn it all. All the couples in this world should break up. Stop hitting me while crying. Calm down, Keith. I understand how you're feeling, but it isn't confirmed yet. Taylor grabbed Keith and pulled him away. There's no way you who might as well be the epitome of scum could treat someone else's child so kindly. Yeah, just admit it already. She's your kid, right? I bet you have a ton of other children hidden away too. Just say it already. Any burden will be made easier if you talk about it. These guys don't believe a single word that I said. At this point, I'm thinking it would be faster to just tell them that she is my daughter. It'd prevent them from investigating too deeply into Fate 4, so it's worth a shot. Well, you see Dash, are you really married? Did you hide it from us all this time? Tell us the truth. Seeing Lynn's suddenly serious face staring at me, the words that were on the tip of my tongue died on my lips. You know, you guys have some really impressive imagination. Do I look like I'm a married man? And look at her. Just what age do you think I would need to get busy to have a child this old? There's being quick on the draw, but this is just ridiculous. Judging from Fate 4's apparent age, I would have had to have sired her when I was about 10. That's just physically impossible. Ah, yeah, that's right. Thinking about it calmly, there's no way someone would be strange enough to marry Dust. Yeah, that makes sense. That's going too far, isn't it? And why do you sound so happy? Dust, I believed in you. Yeah, me too. That's the second time I heard those lines today. There won't be a next time. I don't want to pick a fight with them in front of Fate 4, so I'll let them go for now. Anyway, it doesn't seem like we'd be able to go on any quests when we have to take care of that girl too. But with the money from the treasure island and the zombie graveyard, we'll be fine for a while. Ah, about that, can we pick up a quest? Dust, you're acting really strange, you know? Normally you think of nothing except how to spend your money, but now you're actually asking to work? Are you sure you don't have a fever? Lynn placed a hand on my forehead. I'm fine. This girl is a big eater, you see. If I don't earn some money soon, I'll starve to death. Fate 4 stared forlornly at the empty plates that are now stacked from the table to the ceilings. I ordered enough food to feed 5 grown men, and it's already all gone. Dust. Yes, I get it. I'll order whatever you want. Okay. Her slightly sad expression changed to a smiling one, though I'm probably the only one who could notice the difference. I waved the waitress over and ordered the same meals again. I might run out of money today. Can you really eat that much? You're not forcing yourself, are you? Yes. If there's too much, you can leave the rest to us. It's not too much. Eat up and grow up fast. I'll do my best. My companions have a soft spot for children, so they quickly got along with her. In the middle of this, Lynn, with a curious expression on her face, wandered away from the table into a corner of the store and waved us over. When we went over, she drew us into a huddle and started whispering. Anyway, back to the original topic, I don't mind paying for this meal if you need it. I'm never treating Dust to a meal, but a kid is fine. I can't bear to see a child go hungry. Well, I was expecting them to say something like that, but I'm thankful for your concern, but I can handle paying for her food myself. X3, what's with that look? The three of them gave me looks of wide-eyed surprise and gaping mouths. The only sounds that could be heard from the store is the sounds of Fate 4 digging into her meal. Let's go to the hospital. I'm not sick. Then let's go to the church. I'm not cursed either. Who are you? I'm Dust. How many times are we going to go through the same motions again before you're satisfied? You know, is it really that strange for me to say something proper for once? Yes it is. X3, you guys only show your team coordination at times like this. I really wish they'd show that level of teamwork when we're fighting monsters. Even though we raised our voices, Fate 4 was still digging into her meal without a care in the world. Really, nothing moves her. Anyway, you said you'll handle the food bill, but can you really afford it? Don't make fun of us. Unlike you, Taylor and I properly save our money up. There's no telling what awaits us in the future. We have some money saved up to account for that. Hey, why am I not included? Well, I don't have much saved away, but unlike Dust, paying for a child's meal is a piece of cake for me. Oh, well said. You guys have been so distracted by what's going on with me that you haven't noticed just how terrifying she is. Take a good look at that table. I pointed at Fate 4 who was still eating at the table. My companions who followed my finger took one look and gasped. Several dozens of plates were piled up on that table to the point where Fate 4 was barely visible. Even so, Fate 4 still wasn't satisfied and was currently ordering yet another round from the waitress. You're kidding, right? One person ate that much. In such a short time? Isn't there a massive disconnect with how much she eats and how small her body is? This is outside of my expectations. I know that children have huge appetites, but what a terrifying appetite. If a girl eats that much food at a mixer, no matter how beautiful she is, nobody would go with her. It seems like that they understand what I'm getting at. If we keep talking here, Fate 4 will probably end up ordering even more food, so we decided to cut our conversation short and left the store. With this, my wallet is now empty. If I don't find a good paying quest soon, never mind tomorrow, I wouldn't even have enough money to pay for dinner tonight. Looking back at Fate 4 who was placing the last dish on top of the pile, she still seemed a little unsatisfied. Part 5 I was planning on heading back to the guild to pick up a quest or two, but the sun is starting to set and the surroundings are getting dark, so I have no choice but to give up on it today. My companions ordered dinner in the tavern, but I'm completely out of money. Seems like I'll have to spend tonight in the stables. Personally, I'm fine with that, but the problem is the girl currently waving her legs through the air while seated next to me. Despite having eaten so much, she still seemed to be unsatisfied, and gazed longingly at the menu with her finger in her mouth. I could approach my companions to borrow some money, but after putting on airs just now, my pride won't. Hold on, I still have something as uncertain as pride within me? Grag. Arf. What are you doing? Why are you making strange noises with your arms crossed? No, I'm just surprised by something that I thought I've long lost. Dust, you really are acting strangely today. Is she seriously worried about me? Keith and Taylor were looking at me with a concerned expression too. Well, leaving them aside for now, my first priority right now is to secure enough food for this girl. I cast my gaze across the guild, looking for a way to accomplish that without spending any money, before a strange idea popped into my head. Right, can you see those 4 people raising a fuss over there? Where? Fate 4 looked around, seemingly at a loss. Most adventuring parties tend to consist of 3 to 5 people. I guess it's only natural for her to be confused. Besides, everyone present was making a lot of noise. You see that table with the 3 girls? The one with the blue-haired priest doing party tricks? If you walk up to the guy in the middle and say, "Oh Nyakin, I'm hungry," he'll probably let you eat your fill. Really? Yeah. He's rich, so there's no need to hold back. I'll go see him. Fate 4 made her way over to the most famous, or perhaps most infamous party in Axel. It's well known that Kazuma is soft on women and children. On top of that, he seems to have a thing for little sisters. Iris and that explosion girl are proof of that. It's also clear from back when that explosion girl's little sister came for a visit, though I suppose that applies to everyone in the guild. Fate 4 pulled on Kazuma's sleeves and said something to him. I couldn't quite make out what she was saying from this distance, but it seemed to be working pretty well. Kazuma and the other girls gave her quite a bit of food. With a platter full of food, Fate 4 came back with a satisfied look on her face. They gave me a lot. Oh, that's good. Go ahead and dig in. One of these days, Kazuma is going to lose his patience with you. It'll be fine. Kazuma is happy to get thanked by a young girl, and she is happy to get a full stomach. In the words of Kazuma, this is called a win-win situation. No matter how you look at it, they are the ones on the losing end. Though, I can't really complain while seeing her eat so cheerfully. Lynn looked at Fate 4 digging into her meal without a care in the world and smiled. Seeing that brings back some memories. If I recall, she also smiled the same way. Back then when we were watching Fate 4 eat, Fate 4-chan, what part of Dust do you like so much? To be honest, there's plenty of things to complain about when it comes to him, and he has barely any good points. I want to know about that too. Even goblins are less hated than this man here. It's hard to think of something praiseworthy about him. Come on, I at least have 1 or 2 good points, right? If you are my companions, you could at least try harder to think of something. Fate 4 stopped eating and thought for a moment. Her expression shifted slightly. I think she's frowning. Dust saved me. He broke me out of the cage I was trapped in. He said, "It's fine now, you're safe." That was a long time ago. You still remember the moment we first met, huh? I remember that time clearly too. You were injured and kept in a cramped cage, so you were really on guard. Sorry for bringing back such unpleasant memories. But, are you sure the dust you saw back then wasn't an illusion? Hey, wait. Are you sure it was dust? Take a good look at this slovenly face. Are you sure you haven't mistaken him? Hey, I said wait. Lynn grabbed a hold of my face and pulled it in front of Fate 4. When I'm this close, I could see the color of her eyes slowly turn red. Ah, this is bad. See, calm down. This is just our usual ribbing. There's no need to get angry. This is a common sight amongst companions this close. I hastily patted her head and tried to calm her down. Fortunately, it seemed to have done the trick. Her eyes are returning back to her original color too. I hate people who say bad things about dust. Lynn, seemingly receiving too large of a shock after hearing that she's hated, staggered backwards. Ah, she hates you because you spoke badly of me. Maybe you should consider your manners in the future. Oh, shut up. I mean, no matter how you look at it, what she said just now doesn't sound anything like the dust I know. It sounds like a heroic knight in some fantasy story or something. It must be a mistake. Are you sure it's dust? Grr. I won't say it anymore. Lynn fell silent after seeing the glare that Fate 4 was giving her. Rather than believing her, it feels more like they are just playing along in order to not anger a child. But, well, I don't really want to dwell on this topic any further, so that suits me just fine. This girl is really scary when she gets angry. I just felt a pressure that you wouldn't expect from a child. She was covered in cold sweat. I think she might have really been scared by her. You really think so? Well, she did create a pretty big mess when she lost her temper that one time. I had a really hard time soothing you back then. Fate 4 disappeared behind the tower of piled-up dishes after hearing that. Is she embarrassed, I wonder? Anyway, never mind that. More importantly, I'm planning on taking a quest tomorrow. You guys are free, right? I guess I'm free. I don't have any plans, if that's what you're asking. Me neither. Seems like I won't have any issues with forming a party tomorrow. The only problem would be finding someone to take care of Fate 4 while we are out on a quest. She's pretty smart, so maybe I can leave her here at the guild? Fate 4, we're heading out to earn money tomorrow, so can you wait for us here? No, I want to go with you. Don't be selfish. It might be dangerous out there tomorrow. I hate this girl. Gurk. She instantly rebuked Lynn. It seems like she really dislikes her, to the point where anyone would be able to tell at a glance. She's gotten better at expressing her emotions. Young lady, it's really dangerous out there, you know? What would you do if a monster pounced on you? Defeat them. Oh, well, that's really brave of you. Ha ha ha. Taylor is treating it like a joke, but she's serious when she says that. I don't mind taking her along. Ha. What are you saying? We aren't heading out to play, you know? What are you going to do if something really does go wrong? Even after being told that she's hated, Lynn is still seriously concerned for the girl. Keith and the others tried to persuade Fate 4, but she simply angled her head up and remained deaf to their words. Even in this form, her mannerisms doesn't change. Don't worry, I'll definitely protect her. Besides, it's not like you guys are planning on abandoning her when the fighting starts, are you? Of course not. I don't mind leaving you to fend for yourself, but there's no way I can abandon her like that. In that case, there's no issues with taking her along. We just have to take on some less risky quests. Even if you leave her here, knowing her personality, I'm sure she'll sneak out after us. I will follow you. She nodded in agreement as though it was the most obvious thing in the world. In that case, it might be safer to take her along from the start. But Taylor, having a child running around underfoot would get in the way, and getting a child to play nice won't be easy, you know? True, but we can't just leave a child alone and let her wander off into danger. Taylor and Keith seem to be seriously racking their brains for a solution, but there's really no need to be that worried about her. Just then, Lynn, who had been silent all this while, suddenly got to her feet. I have something in mind, so I'll go make some preparations. See you tomorrow. And immediately left without waiting for our reply. I'm a little curious as to what she's up to, but the more pressing issue is, how will I pay for the food that Fate 4 just ordered? Part 6. Seems like she's sleeping well. I stroked the body of Fate 4, who was laying beside me. She was terribly on edge back when I first met her, but at her core, she really is a gentle soul. It's really a relief to see her sleeping so soundly like this. It feels like we are just making use of her. My heart does hurt a little, but this is all for the sake of the princess. I muttered such excuses in part to convince myself. Ever since I rescued Fate 4, I've been taking care of her. I ran into a lot of problems at first, but after spending so much time together, we are practically inseparable now. Currently, she's the most important thing in my life, second only to the princess. Speaking of which, recently, the princess has been pestering me to give her a ride on the dragon. I've always rejected her because there's no way I could do something like that without permission from the king. Even though she understands this very well, she still constantly pesters me to give her a ride. Especially recently, she makes that request almost every day. I know why she's asking this, but considering my position, there's no way I can grant that request. All I can do is feign ignorance and continue with my daily life. Marriage, huh? As a princess of a country, it's only natural to have a fiancé arranged for you. It's only natural. I can only protect her as a knight. I shook my head to clear the fogginess of sleep. That dream was probably because of Fate 4's influence. Alright then, time to earn some money. Sleeping next to me in the stables is, of course, Fate 4. Even though my companions and several of the adventurers in the guild offered to pay for a room for her, she rejected all of them and joined me in the stables instead. If she was a beautiful lady, I'd be elated, but this isn't good. If someone were to walk in on us right now, it'll only create more misunderstandings. Having one person in this town branded as a lullicon is enough for me. If such a rumor were to spread, it'd make approaching women even harder. After waking up Fate 4, we went to the guild only to be greeted by a strangely quiet guild hall. The quest notices are usually placed on the notice board early in the morning, so there'd usually be a bunch of early birds gathered here hoping to grab a juicy quest before anyone else. I've seen several of their kind show up on those occasions when I drank till morning. Dust, there you are. Lynn, who had disappeared without a trace last night, called out to me. Stay still for a bit. Hey, wait, what are you doing? What is this rope? What are you planning? Don't just silently start tying me up. After wordlessly tying a harness around my waist, she stood back with a satisfied look on her face. No, really, what are you planning? Heh, it suits you pretty well, this piggyback rope. Hey, wait, why did you snicker while saying that? Piggyback rope? What do you mean? It'd be faster to show you. Fate 4-chan, come over here. Ow, stop biting my hands. Grr. Fate 4 bared her teeth at Lynn, causing her to shy back. These two really don't get along. Come on, just behave yourself. Stop biting me already. See, like this, you can be together with Dust, right? After a short struggle, Lynn lifted Fate 4 onto my back. Even though she didn't cling onto me, it doesn't feel like she's going to fall anytime soon. With this, you can make use of both hands while she's on your back. And it'd lessen the load on you too. Though, it might be a little heavy. No, this weight isn't a problem. Thanks, Lynn. Come on, you should say thank you too. NGGGH. Thank you, bad girl. She is a little reluctant, but she still gave her thanks. Lynn responded with a wry smile. The weight of Fate 4 on my back is nothing compared to the full-body heavy armor I used to wear. I'm a little concerned over how lame this harness made me look, but oh well, I guess it's just the cost of doing business. Taylor and Keith aren't here yet? And here, I woke up early for them. Ah, about those two. Apparently something suddenly came up for them, so they won't be joining us. What? Didn't we make a promise yesterday? Leaving Keith aside, what could possibly crop up for Taylor too to break a promise? I tried to ask them for the reason too, but they wouldn't tell me anything. Keith is fairly flippant, so it isn't unexpected for him to flake out like this, but it's unthinkable for that hard-headed Taylor to also follow suit. For the two of them to pull out together, maybe they are up to something? I'll ask them if I run into them. More importantly. So, what are we going to do? It's going to be pretty tough taking on quests with just the two of us. Depending on the type of quest, it might be possible for just two people to handle it, but Lin will definitely object on the grounds of it being too dangerous. In that case, perhaps we should just accept a little bit of risk and just send someone out alone to complete the quest? Don't worry, I managed to secure a few helpers earlier. Almost like they rehearsed this, 2 people walked up behind Lin. Sorry for intruding. I hope that you'll allow me to join you and your party on an adventure dash. Oh, get used to it already. Thanks for the greeting gift. The girl who nervously gave such a stuffy greeting to us is, of course, the loner Crimson Demon, Yun. We've been together in the same party several times now, but it seems like she's still unused to being in a group. You look like a hapless dad carrying an infant daughter around. It suits you well. And on the complete opposite end from Yun's uptight nervousness is lowly succubus. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of her recently. You didn't need to say that, but I'm thankful for your help. I'll go see what quests are available, so wait here for a bit. Browsing the notices put up on the notice board, I noticed that most of them tend to involve hunting down monsters. There were almost no requests for safe chores. Luna happened to be passing by at the moment, so I called out to her. Say, Luna, aren't the quests available a little biased today? Luna seemed taken aback for a bit upon seeing Fate 4 on my back, but she took a deep breath and composed herself. So you've noticed? The adventurers haven't been taking very many quests recently. In fact, most of them have stopped coming to the guild altogether. Luna said with a sigh. Just as she said, there are very few adventurers in the guild today. Where did they go? Apparently, they've been hanging around the priest who came to the town a few days ago. She's been offering to cast support magic at no cost to the other adventurers, so she's been really popular. Are men really such simple creatures that they'll fall for any girl that is graceful, beautiful, and kind? If a girl has all 3 traits, it's only natural for her to be popular. Why are you crying? Luna suddenly clung onto me. I quite enjoy the sensation of her breasts pushing against me, but seeing such a desperate woman is a little scary. Don't you think that's odd? Having men fall so easily for her is really odd. I really want her to teach me some of her techniques. Then stop grumbling behind her back and go ask the person in question. I knew she was popular, but I didn't expect her to be this well-loved. When talk of priests come up, I can't help but be reminded of the ball of troubles that is Aqua, but Serena seems like the proper sort. Especially how she doesn't seem attached to money. I had my hands full with Fate 4, so I didn't have time to pay attention to the changes in the guild. I understand why the guys are all infatuated with her. She has both bountiful breasts and hip scraw, my neck. Stop strangling me. I get it, I get it. More importantly, let's talk about the quests. Perhaps being grumpy because she's hungry, Fate 4 started strangling me from behind. You will accept a quest. With our current situation, our quests are piling up and we are having a real headache over it. Thank you. I'll give you an additional 30% on top of the regular quest rewards and allow you to eat for free too. She must have been really troubled to offer such generous terms. The party I'm working with today is mostly comprised of mages, so we won't be lacking when it comes to firepower. Depending on what monster we are hunting, we might be able to pull it off. I picked several quests that sounded reasonable and left the guild along with Lin and the others. So far, the subjugation quests have been going smoothly. I'm performing the role of the vanguard, as usual, but whenever we run into a monster, the others will let loose their magic out of concern for Fate 4, and everything will be over before I get the chance to do anything. We've already cleared 3 quests, and it seems like the remaining 2 will be done in a jiffy at this rate. Having things go so smoothly is actually kind of scary, don't you think? What's there to worry about? If you keep concerning yourself with every little thing, you'll get old real fast, you know? Leave the monsters to me. I won't let them lay a finger on Fate 4-chan. Yun-Senpai, you seem really reliable. Yun wiped out the enemies before I could attract their attention. In the event where several monsters would attack from different directions, Lin would blast them aside, or lowly succubus would stop them in their tracks. It's a weirdly balanced party, but a party of 3 mages seem to be working out pretty well. My shoulder feels wet for some reason. Hey, you're drooling. That looks tasty. Fate 4 was looking at the body of the giant frog that we just defeated with a hungry look in her eyes. Yun, can you roast that giant frog over there? Sure, I can, but what are you planning on doing? It's this little lady's mealtime. If I keep putting it off for any longer, I'm going to be absolutely covered in drool. Though if someone else were to take over carrying her for a while, I don't mind. When I extended my drool-covered hand towards Yun, she immediately jumped away. Eek, don't get close to me. I have really bad memories when it comes to gooey stuff. I'll get it roasted in a jiffy. Immediately after the frog has been roasted, Fate 4 practically pounced on it. We did cut a few pieces off for everyone else, but it seems like most of it will be devoured by Fate 4. A large boom echoed from the distance, followed by a pillar of smoke. Seems like that crazy girl is out on her explosion walk. It's an everyday occurrence, so anyone who had lived in this town for any amount of time would have gotten used to it by now. Just looking at her eat makes me feel full. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get fat. Hey, stop attacking me out of the blue. If you stop saying such stupid things, I might consider it. It was only a little joke. You didn't need to start blasting me. Still, it's really good that you two happened to be in the guild just then. Otherwise we would have been really in trouble. It's not a coincidence. I've been worried about Fate 4, so I've been keeping an eye on you. She doesn't seem like just an acquaintance, so how do the two of you know each other? I'm really curious as to exactly what relationship the two of you have. Don't worry, even if it's a forbidden romance that transcends age, I'll be fine with it. So, what exactly is the relationship between you two? Yun and lowly succubus asked me with eyes brimming with curiosity. Everyone's interested in that. Is it really that unusual? Lin kept silent, probably because of what happened yesterday. However, despite her trying to put on an air of indifference, I can tell she's listening intently. In situations like this, it's easier to spin a believable lie if you base it on a kernel of truth. In the past, I happened to run across her while she was being kidnapped by some villains, so I helped her out. Ever since then, she's been quite taken with me. That situation is something that every girl admires. If someone as young as her were to go through such an experience, it would be easy to develop some misunderstandings. I think I understand what happened now. A captured princess scenario, huh? Seems like there might be a demand for it. I really want to respond to what Yun Yun said, but whatever. Lin heard a similar story yesterday, so she doesn't seem to react much. Dust-san, I've been curious for some time now, but what did you do before coming to Axel? The moment that question left Yun Yun's mouth, Lin drew closer to us, all the while still acting disinterested. I'm curious too. You're usually scummy and unscrupulous and an utterly lost cause, but you can demonstrate proper courtesy at times. And you know a lot about nobility and royalty too. Did I ever talk to her about nobles or royalty before? No, wait, wasn't that? I gave her some tips about how to act like a noble or princess back when I was drunk, didn't I? Seems like I told her a little more than I should. Ah, about that. You see. Ah, wait, now is not the time for that. Before I noticed it, we were surrounded by countless monsters. What's with their abnormal numbers? And there are all of different types too. We aren't that far from Axel. Wait, don't tell me, are these monsters all startled by the explosion earlier and came running this way? So it's that damned explosion girl's fault. Did all the monsters that have been proliferating because of the lack of adventurers come charging out here? Fate 4, come over here, quickly. Okay. I didn't even have the luxury to comment on how she's already picked the giant frog to the bone. With one hand on the piggyback rope and the other on my weapon, I tried searching for an escape route, but we were completely surrounded. Yun Yun, take care of the enemies behind us. Lin, Lolisa, hold off the monsters on the left and right. I'll handle the ones straight ahead. That's where most of the monsters are. That girl is with you too, so don't push yourself. I can't afford not to push myself with her present. If you are worried, then hurry up and take care of your end. We didn't have the time for any further discussion, so, with sword in hand, I started taking care of the monsters. A small horde of goblins and kobolds are facing me. Those two types of monsters don't normally work together. They must have bolted in the same direction after being startled by that explosion. Dust. Sorry, I'm a little busy right now. If you have something to say, please save it for later. You aren't going to use a spear? Well, a lot of things happened. Oh yeah, I've always used a spear in front of her. If I had a spear on hand right now, I would have happily made use of it, but there's no use pining for weapons I don't have. As I was thinking of such things, the monsters started launching their attacks. Yua, that was close. I dodged that attack and retaliated with a slash of my own, easily cleaving a goblin in two. Keeping that momentum, I easily separated the head of a nearby kobold from its shoulders. They might be small fry monsters, but aren't they a little too weak? Even their attacks are slow and easily dodged. Seems like you are in tip-top condition today. Lin's voice called out from behind me. So it isn't that they are weak, but I'm just doing really well today. Dust, leave it to me. A slightly prideful voice came from my shoulder. Yeah, with you here, there's no way I can lose. With that, I charged straight into the horde of monsters. Part 7. After a tough fight, I managed to wipe out the monsters facing me relatively quickly, and so moved on to help Lin and the others. After some time, we managed to wipe out most of the monsters present and put the rest to flight. Pant, asterisk. I feel like I've worked more than enough for my entire life. I can take the rest of my life easy, right? I am done. I'm completely out of mana. Sorry, I've used up all of my magic. If I go any further, I won't be able to work tonight. Seems like everyone has reached their limit. To think the effects of the adventurers slacking on their work would show up here. It'd be nice if the monsters would lie low for a while after this. Barely forcing our exhausted bodies to move, we somehow managed to drag ourselves back to the guild. I wanted to have a meal and rest my body, but there's a more important matter that I have to attend to first. Seeing Luna over at the counter, I walked over to her with Fate 4 in tow. I'm back. The quest is completed, so hand over the money. Thank you for your hard work. Yes, the request has indeed been completed. Please take this with you. Checking the bag of money that Luna passed to me, I found there to be a little more than I expected. It's not often that Luna makes such a mistake, but I think I'll keep that to myself this time. I tried to leave, but someone grabbed my arm. What are you doing, Luna? That pouch contains the advance fee for yet another quest. Another troublesome matter has cropped up, so I would like to request your cooperation. She's looking at me with her usual smiling face, but there's something else hiding behind that expression this time. I have a really bad feeling about this, so I think I'll refuse. Say, can I refuse this request? Why don't you ask Kazuma for help instead? He's used to dealing with troublesome matters, after all. He's a man that deals with his troublesome companions day in and out. If you have a troublesome matter on hand, he'd be the first guy to ask. Kazuma-san seems to be busy with some other matter, so the only adventurers I can rely on is you and your party. Resolving this matter would also reduce the load on you, so please lend me a hand. Her words are delivered in a gentle tone, but the sounds of her fingers tightening their grip on my arm is clearly audible. She doesn't seem like she has any intention of letting me go. Okay, fine, I'll hear you out. But that doesn't mean I accept just yet. Thank you very much. The truth is, there are a lot of adventurers who've been acting strangely throughout town recently. We've gotten a lot of complaints from the residents too. Acting strangely. I was planning to tune it out after listening for a little bit, but that does pique my curiosity. Strange as in, how strange? Apart from the adventurers who are doggedly following Serena-san around, there are also some who have been running around rampaging and shouting strange things and generally acting strange. A few of them have even been arrested and thrown into prison. What's that? Isn't that just typical drunken revelry? Come nightfall, guys like that are a common sight around bars and taverns. The folks around here practically throw a drunken party every night. It isn't strange to see people drink themselves into a stupor. Well, it'd be one thing if they kept their actions to the bars and taverns at night, but these people have been running wild even in the middle of the day. The Adventurers Guild can't simply ignore the problem, and we are already short-handed as it is. Well, that is strange. Is there anything in common amongst those who got arrested? I can't say much about that. Oh, by the way, the one who happened to stop these people rampaging around was Vanir-san. Sir, huh? Right, I'll go pay him a visit later. If I'm paying Sir Vanir a visit, I'd best take them along too. If I go to see him behind her back, she'd give me an earful later. Before heading to Sir Vanir's place, I got a more detailed story from a few eyewitnesses. Lynn is as uncomfortable with Sir as ever, so she decided to wait for us back at the guild instead of coming along. According to the information I gathered, the people who have been acting strangely consists of not just adventurers, but regular residents of the town too. The symptoms appear to be losing their sense of reason, going on rampages, and shouting in random directions. Yun, as expected, came along, a notepad in her hand. Apparently, she's been reading a lot of detective stories recently and seems to be in the mood to play detective herself. Rather than getting drunk, this sounds more like some kind of hallucination. Perhaps it might even be a curse of some sort. The other person who came along, lowly succubus, is well versed with mind-affecting magic, so it seems like that expertise allowed her to make some kind of connection. Plus, a devil would have some knowledge when it comes to curses. We might be on the right track here. So, either some bored mage is running around casting spells for fun, or it's some kind of spreading curse. Someone who'd cast spells indiscriminately within the town of Axel. That does remind me of someone, but she only knows that one spell. I glanced at Yun, who shrank away in embarrassment as though we were talking about her herself. So that leaves a curse. We should probably visit a church about that. The Axis cult church is closer, but let's go to the Eris church instead. Everyone nodded in agreement. There's no need for discussion. I know full well that nothing good comes out of getting involved with the Axis cult. As we drew closer to the building, lowly succubus stopped following us. It seems like she doesn't intend on going any closer. Well, both the Axis cult and the Eris church are famous in their dislike for devils, after all. I knocked on the door, and a short while later, a woman wearing priestly robes opened it. Is something the matter? Everyone, come quick. That incorrigible thug has come here to repent. There's no need to shout. He's the one who insulted Eris-sama. The moment they saw my face, she raised a scream and the other priests came at me with fists swinging. What are you doing? You sure have guts to assault an upstanding citizen for absolutely no reason. Who are you calling an upstanding citizen? I won't let you say you forgot about those blasphemous words. What has gotten them so angry? They were saying something about blasphemy or whatever, but I have no recollection of that at all. Hey, come on, it isn't good for priests to make false accusations. This man, have you really forgotten? You're lying, right? Hold on a minute, I'll try and remember. You're angry about the time I took multiple bowls of porridge back. When I was broke and complained about the taste, right? Or are you angry about the time I told that head priest to make me the patron of the church because I met the goddess Eris firsthand? Dust, you really are. Yun shot me a gaze of pure scorn. Now is not the time for that. That's not all you've done, right? The guy who teased you about how the devotion of an Eris priest is inversely proportional to the size of their chest is Keith, not me. The one who hit you back then was Maris, not me. There is more, right? The fact that she replied with a smile somehow made her seem even more fearsome. Was there anything else? Nothing's really coming to mind. Nope, that's pretty much it. Back when Darkness-sama was with me, you said, I've heard rumors that the goddess Eris pads her chest. For a follower of Eris to have such huge knockers, aren't you afraid that she'll excommunicate you? In the first place, are those real? You two aren't padding your chests, are you? If they are real, then strip and show me the proof right here. I won't let you say you forgot about that. She went out of her way to imitate my voice and mannerisms, but that isn't ringing any bells. Did something like that happen? I tilted my head in confusion, and she aimed a straight right at my face. Hey, aren't you a priest? How could you resort to violence? People who encroach on the dignity of women and Eris-sama are existences on the same level as undead. Hey, resorting to violence with this many people on your side is unfair. Should women of the cloth really be using violence in front of a child this young? Take a good look at her innocent eyes. Yun. Hey, don't take Fate 4 away. Looking back, Yun was carrying Fate 4 away to join lowly succubus. I, on the other hand, was completely surrounded with Eris cultists. Why don't we talk things out calmly? Goddess Eris wouldn't look kindly on unnecessary fighting, you know. Shut up. X4 Part 8, damn it. They beat me black and blue and tossed me out without offering me even a single casting of heal. Unbelievable. Despite being priests, they ignored me as I lay on the ground and went back into the church. As I dragged myself up to my feet, Yun and lowly succubus, who had been keeping watch from afar, came over. These guys are pretty heartless too. It's all your fault that they wouldn't listen to us. I'm surprised that you managed to make an enemy of the Eris church. There. Yun seemed exasperated, lowly succubus seemed vaguely impressed, and Fate 4 got up on my back and started strapping herself in. She seems to think that is her rightful place. Right then, the question is, do we pay a visit to the Axis cult or ignore it and move on? Let's take a vote on this. Anyone who is in favor of visiting the Axis cult, raise your hand. Not a single person raised their hand, so we decided to go to Sir's place. Pardon me. Vanir-sama, is there anything I can do for you? Sir, there's something I would like to ask you. When I opened the door of the magic item shop, a sweet scent flooded my nostrils. And Wiz, the storekeeper, is collapsed in a charred heap on the floor, but I'm used to that by now. Humph, if you intend to help, you can start by throwing out the trash. Okay, can do. Chimicha. Lowly succubus hummed a tune as she dragged Wiz off somewhere with practiced motions. Lona Rinquint are here too, huh? Moi is a little busy right now. If you're here to window shop, please come back later. Lona Rinquint. Please stop lumping me together with Dust-san. Sir, you sure say some good things every so often. By the way, what this Wiz do this time? Just thinking about it gives me conniptions. This garbage storekeeper mistook the large quantities of mandrakes Moi ordered as potion ingredients as locally sourced wild vegetables and gave them to the neighbors for free. Mandragora are those rare and dangerous monsters that scream when pulled out of the ground and can cause people hearing their screams to die, right? Indeed. Having them be given away for free is painful enough as is, but there is a bigger problem. Properly treated, it's a potent medicine, but it's dangerous if eaten as is. Moi has retrieved some of them, but there are still several of them still at large. It's only natural to be angry. Just then, I heard a growl from behind my back. Turning around, I came face to face with a snarling Fate 4. Dust, this man, dangerous. Oh, that's a rare thing to be carrying around on your back. To think that such a creature would appear at a place like this. Despite being glared at, Sir Vanir drew closer to Fate 4 without the slightest hint of fear. A snarling little girl and a smiling masked man staring at each other. To anyone passing by, this would surely be a bizarre sight. It's fine, Sir is a devil and has a certain personality that means he's not exactly an ally to humanity, but he's not hostile. So, calm down. If you say so. She still looks like she's ready to jump out at any moment, but appears to be restraining herself for now. Still, I'm impressed that Fate 4 managed to see through Sir with just a glance. Sorry to bother you while you're busy, but Sir, can I ask you for more details about those rampaging adventurers that you stopped the other day? That incident. Moi ran across a strange man who was screaming and running wild while working to recover the mandrakes, so Moi defeated him. So he ran across him by chance, huh? Doesn't seem like I can expect much solid information from him, then. Well, those symptoms are similar to what happens when you eat a mandrake, but it's a small matter. Oh, is that so? Hey, wait a minute, sir, doesn't that mean it's definitely the result of eating a mandrake? And we stumbled onto the source of the problem. With this, the quest is complete, is what I would like to say, but, by the way, how many mandrakes are you still missing? From what has been told, there seem to have been a few unrestrained fools who showed up and took large quantities of mandrakes with them during the giveaway. The remaining pieces are most likely with those people. However, they might prove to be a little troublesome. Sir doesn't declare someone to be troublesome lightly. I was hoping that this matter would be easily resolved, but that seems increasingly unlikely. Just what kind of people are we talking about for Vanir-sama to be so wary? The ones who took them away are, of all people, the Axis cult. X3, everyone present nodded at the same time. They could be said to be the natural enemy of devils. I would really want to avoid getting into contact with them if I can, but it seems like I'm bound to them by some weird quirk of fate. There's the party priest that hangs out with Kazuma, of course, but I also ran into Zesta over in Elroad that seems to be the patriarch of the entire organization. To be honest, I really don't want to get to know them any more than this. Well, haven't you arrived at just the right time? Would you not take on the task of retrieving the mandrakes from that empty-headed cult that believes in a foolish goddess? You shall be amply compensated, of course. I would really like to take on a request from you, sir, but I don't really play well with Axis cultists. I don't get along with them too. Lowly succubus raised a shaky hand. It seems like she'd do anything Sir Vanir asks, but even she draws the line at the Axis cult. Did you know any specifics about the priest who took the mandrakes with them? From what has been told, she was a priest wearing Axis cult priest robes, and said something like, finally, I can eat something other than Tokorotan slime. A chill went down my spine. It feels like I know that description from somewhere. Hearing a smack from my side, I turned and saw Yun sitting on the ground, her head in her hands as she heaved a heavy sigh. What's wrong? Did you eat some rotten food and got yourself a stomachache? You should be wary of food that smells bad. And anything that tastes sour is right out. I'm not you, so I don't need that kind of advice. That person might be someone I know. That behavior sounds very familiar. Unfortunately. Is that so? Then, can moi entrust this task to you, as a friend? You are the only friend moi can rely on during such times. Leave it to me. I'll never leave a friend in need. So easy. X2 seeing Sir wrap Yun around his finger, the same phrase came to both lowly succubus and I. Well, this situation is beneficial to me too, so I think I'll let it run its course. I expected that we'd be heading towards that Axis cult branch which is located on the outskirts of the town, but for some reason, Yun instead led us towards the mansion district where most of the ultra-rich folks made their homes. As for why I knew the Axis cultists opened a church on the outskirts, that's because the residents of this town warned me to stay away from there. In particular, parents give strict warnings to their children not to play in that area, so pretty much nobody goes over there. So, does that priest live here? I always thought the Axis cult had an air of poverty around them, but, hey, you're joking, right? This is practically a palace. A massive mansion sprawled out in front of me. Kazuma's mansion is fairly spacious by itself, but doesn't hold a candle to the stately palace in front of my eyes. Is that stingy-sounding priest really living in a place like this? She lives in such an opulent place, but she still scrambles for free gifts? Lowly succubus asked the same question that's on my mind. This is the place the band, acquaintance rented to serve as a base of sorts. but before I knew it she began treating it as a residence. She probably spends more time here than she does at the church proper. Right now, it's still barely past noon. Priests should be busy distributing food or recruiting or some other activity around this time. So she's skipping work to laze about here? Should a priest really be doing that? But, well, she is of the Axis cult. Yeah, it's the Axis cult. Thinking it over, this isn't anything unexpected from the Axis cult. With that settled, I moved to the front door, but lowly succubus instead took several large steps backwards. I'll wait out here, so please have a nice chat with that person. She's a little strange, but she isn't a bad person. Well, she's probably harmless. It'll be fine. Probably. Say it with more confidence. All you're doing now is just making her sound even less trustworthy. Lolisa here doesn't have a lot of good experiences when it comes to the Axis cult. Well, that goes the same for me too. Neither do I. It won't be good to force her, so, okay, Lolisa, you wait for us here. Ah. Yun let out a surprised gasp. Following her gaze led me to a woman dressed in priestly robes. She was slowly approaching lowly succubus with creeping hands and a suspicious glint in her eyes, but lowly succubus doesn't seem to have noticed her. And then, the priest grabbed her from behind. I found a little girl. Now, are you here to join up? Or are you here to register? Or perhaps become one of us? We have plenty of room for little girls, so don't worry. Kaya, help me. I'm being forced into the Axis cult. I don't want to be an Axis cultist. The priest clung tightly onto a struggling lowly succubus. I want to help her, but seeing the face of the priest gave me pause. My worst premonitions always end up coming true. Cecily-san, please let her go. She isn't here to join up. And this isn't the church. So her name is Cecily, huh? I've run into her several times, but I think this is the first time I got her name. Ah, yeah, that's right. Recently, I've been spending more time lazing around here than at the church, so I got mistaken. Teehee. The priest cocked her head and stuck out her tongue. She's one of the troublemaking Axis cultists I ran into in Elroad. So, that thing is an acquaintance of yours? Yes. There are some circumstances behind that, but, Union-san, you're here too. Alice-san, Megumin-san, and now a new little girl is joining our group. Wait, Cecily-san. We are supposed to keep that a secret. Group. And, did she just say Alice just now? Alice is the alias that the first princess of this country, Iris, uses, right? Ah, I see. There was a time where Megumin, Alice, and Yun were hanging out together. If I recall, they were trying to investigate if I was the rumored Dragon Knight back then. They must have hit it off together. Iris probably used her royal authority to buy this mansion. Ooh, nice, a modest body with pink hair that just has the slightest hint of erotism. It's right up Wani-chan's alley. But this smell is... Let me go. Let me go. Help me, Dust-san. Dust-san. Lowly succubus desperately screamed. Running into the Axis cult at Alcanrisha and Elroad definitely left a deep scar on her. Cecily paid no heed to her struggles and started sniffing lowly succubus's hair and shoulders, before tilting her head questioningly. I don't know what she's looking for, but I think I heard Zesta mention that he can identify devils by the smell. This might be dangerous to let continue. Hey, pervert priest, let go of Lolisa. And, come on, there's no need to cry. Thank you very much. That was so scary. There's no need to cry like this. I understand it's scary, but clinging onto me while snot and tears flowed from your face like this is an overreaction. To think that a girl would cry because of me. Wani-chan is shocked. But seeing a girl cry does make me feel a little hot and bothered. Is it really okay to leave the Axis cult to their own devices like this? She's the very definition of a pervert. Please don't egg her on. Anyway, we aren't here to talk about such matters. Cecily-san, did you come into a lot of vegetables recently? If she knows that those vegetables are actually mandrakes, there's a high chance she might try to resell them for profit or use them for some other ill deed, so we decided to act as though they were just simple vegetables. Actually, if things went badly enough, Vanier and Wiz might end up getting brought in as accomplices to a crime. Ah, are you talking about that? A woman who reeked of poverty was handing out vegetables, saying that she took in too many of them, so I loaded up on as many of them as I could carry and carted them off. What about them? They are already all gone, so don't ask me to return them now. So quickly. What did you do with all those vegetables? Well, you see, I wanted to eat them, but they looked so much like miniature humans that they turned me off. So I distributed them as food aid. You know about that suspicious priest that recently appeared in this town and is rapidly gaining new followers, right? So, to fight against her influence, I decided to imitate the heiress church a little and started handing out food just like them. Don't give food that you can't bring yourself to eat as aid. I have no idea what you're talking about. You understand me perfectly. I didn't say anything particularly complex. Yeah, I just plain don't get along with the Axis cult. Especially if it's this girl or Zesta, just talking to them tires me out. But we tasted it. Even the members who usually have all kinds of snide remarks to make end up enjoying it so much that they jump for joy and slam their heads against the walls. Where do I start? Lowly succubus, hiding behind me, muttered under her breath. She is still brave enough to interject even after being scared senseless, huh? Anyway, it's clear exactly why those guys are acting up. Do you have any of those vegetables left? Say, did we meet somewhere before? Do you still not remember my face? We met back in Elroad, remember? Ah, did we? Only handsome men and cute girls remain in my memory, so I completely forgot about it. But, it's fine now. I'll never forget someone carrying a cute silver-haired girl on his back. This woman is only looking at my back. Anything goes for her as long as it's small and cute, huh? Perhaps sensing danger from the gaze she's receiving, Fate 4 tightened her grip on my shoulder. Don't worry, I won't let you go in front of her. I'll definitely protect you. Okay. Protect me too. Why are you only kind to Fate 4? Favoritism like this isn't good, you know. Lowly Succubus 2 had a tight grip on my waist and refused to budge an inch. Anyway, back to the original topic. You are certain you don't have any more of those vegetables on hand, right? Why yes, of course. They have all been used up, so, even in the 1 in a million chance that something happened, there won't be any proof left. I have no involvement in this matter at all. I'm innocent. You know what's going on in town, don't you? Her behavior is suspicious as all hell. She's definitely aware of what she has done. The way she constantly glances away and fiddles with her fingers can't be described as anything other than suspicious. I have no idea what you are talking about. I'm a devout worshipper of Aqua, so I need to go pray right now. Now, please pardon me. Cecily-sen, I buried those strange herbs in the forest like you told me to. Now, about the payment we agreed upon dash. The person who interrupted was a middle-aged man pulling an empty cart behind him. From the bandages wrapped around his head, he's probably one of those members who tested the food. There's only one conclusion I can come to. You're destroying the evidence. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's still too early to be getting drunk. Come on, I'll give you some Tokorotan slime, so go over there, quickly. This isn't what we agreed on. You promised to give me the freshly taken off panties of a newly ordained priest. The old man took the bag of Tokorotan slime Cecily tried to slip into his jacket and tossed it over his shoulder without a second thought. There are a lot of problems, but we can consider the case closed. I should probably go pick up the mandrakes buried in the forest later, but at least there won't be any more incidents happening in town. Probably. Well, that's the quest complete. Let's go back to Sir, get paid, and get something to eat. But there might still be victims running around. Will the guild really be satisfied? Plus, I don't think Vanir-san will consider this case to be closed just yet. Now that she mentions it, the quest did call to identify the cause and put a stop to it. It'd be foolish to work without getting paid, so it's probably best to put in a bit more work for now. Alright then, let's go find 2 or 3 rampaging folks and drag them to the guild. Hey, corrupt priest over there. Are you perhaps referring to me? Who else could I be referring to? Did you give out food at any other place? Or did you give the vegetables to anyone else? And no more lies. I swear on the name of Aquasama, I'm not lying. The only one who gave out the food is us, so there shouldn't be anyone else who ate. Can I change the swear to the name of Zestasama instead? Of course not. It's obvious you're planning on lying. Now, come on, lead the way. This woman is really bad at lying. After getting the details from Cecily, we moved on to the next location. They are catching up to us. If they catch us, they'll definitely do something horrible. I need to escape. Shut up and run. You'll bite your tongue. Right now, I'm running flat out with a large pot in my hands. Yun and Lowly Succubus are also running alongside me with equal desperation. And the people chasing us are the priest from the Eris Church. Stop right there. If you stop right now, we shall be merciful on you. You aren't convincing at all if you say that while waving a knife around. There is a reason why we ended up in this situation. Because Cecily only had vegetables in the form of the mandrakes while cooking her stew. She traded some of it to the Eris Church in exchange for some meat. I tried to get them to stop cooking, but all my words fell on deaf ears and we just kept going around in circles, so I eventually decided it'd be faster to just grab it and run. There is no telling what they'll do if they catch us. Run as if your life depended on it. After somehow getting away and disposing of the soup, we paid a visit to the other location, and found ourselves in a flat run yet again. Don't underestimate the Axis cult, you vegetable thief. Angry voices came shouting from behind us. Looking back, I could make out the forms of over a dozen angry Axis cultists chasing after me. Why didn't they hand it over after we explained it to them? There's no need to steal it, is there? The moment they saw me, they started making all kinds of unreasonable requests. It'd be faster to just take it than try and negotiate with them. When dealing with the Axis cult, the cops will turn a blind eye even if you are a little rough on them, so there's no need to worry about that. That's not what I'm worried about. Please stop throwing the mandrakes out just because you can't be bothered to carry them with you. Vanir-san is going to be angry. I originally just asked them to give the vegetables back, but there is no reason for me to return something that was freely given over. If you insist, well, you know what I'm talking about, right? If you have that little girl step all over me while giving me a scornful look, I might consider it. I'll give back 1 piece for each time you let me grope that girl, how about that? If you call me master with a sweet voice, I might consider it. Those cultists just made all kinds of unreasonable requests. They only just got it from Cecily not too long ago, so where do they get off being so obstinate? They are criminals, so we can do anything to them when we catch them, right? I call dibs on the little girl. That's no fair. Okay, fine, I'll take the other quiet-looking girl. I want to get my hands all over that blonde fellow. I think I just felt a shiver go down my spine. This is why I don't want to get involved with the Axis cult. I feel like an even worse fate awaits us if we get caught by them. Axis cult, Nu, Vanir-sama, save me. The 2 of them ran with tears in their eyes as their arms are filled with mandrakes. Run with everything you've got. If you get caught, there won't be a tomorrow waiting for you. With wild desperation fueling us, we managed to run all the way out of the town. Part 9. So that's the story. Not to toot my own horn, but I think we put in a lot of effort there. After returning to Wiz's magic item shop, that still smells faintly of ashes, I gave my report. Yun and lowly succubus lay on the floor, completely exhausted. The only way I know they are alive is how they twitch every so often. It seems there will not be any further incidents as a result of this. Very well, here's your reward. Claim it with glee. Thanks, sir. If anything else needs doing, feel free to talk to me. Humph, moi does not have any request for you at the moment, but you might come asking me for a favor not too long in the future. Sir gave me yet another suggestive answer. Normally, I wouldn't pay such words any heed, but Sir's predictions usually end up coming true. Well, when that time comes, I'll be counting on you. Thinking that I'll probably be coming back here soon, I left the magic item shop. I'll hang around here to help Vanir-sama out, is that so? See you around, then. Yun, what are you going to do? I'll go see Megumin. If I hang around you while you are carrying a child around for too long, rumors will start to spread. If rumors start spreading about me spending a lot of time with the delinquent who is also a deadbeat father, never mind making friends, I won't be able to walk around openly in this town again. This girl really is a worrywart, isn't she? It's not like she has any friends in the first place, so what difference does it make? After parting ways with Yun and lowly succubus in front of the store, I made my way back to the Adventurers Guild to give my report. Thank you for your work. It seems like this incident has been successfully contained. Thank you. And that concludes the quest. I got paid by both the guild and Sir, so this turned out to be a very profitable task. Normally, I'd treat myself to some luxuries with this money, but the sounds of a stomach growling came incessantly from my back. Dust, I'm hungry. Yeah, I get it. I wonder how many meals this money will last for. Is this how a bird feels when it's bringing food back to feed its hungry chicks? It feels like all the money I've been earning has been going into food lately. Is it annoying? Oh crap, it must have shown on my face. Fate 4 is staring at me while nursing a frown. Of course not. We are close, aren't we? So there's no need to stand on ceremony. Seeing her smile after hearing that blew away all my worries in an instant. Oh, you're back. How was it? Lin waved at me from the corner of the tavern. I let Fate 4 down and walked over to her together. It went without any issues. I earned some money from it, but they are all going to this girl's food, so don't even think about it. Of course not. I'm not going to steal from you, so there's no need to hide it from me. Anyway, more importantly, I need to talk to you about Taylor and Keith. Leaving Fate 4 who grabbed a hold of a passing waitress and is busy ordering food to the side, I huddled close to Lin. I completely forgot about them during that last fracas, but I still haven't thought of a good punishment for those two who cancelled on me at the last minute. Well, it was really strange. The two of them were with Serena the entire time. Ha! Are they planning to abandon this party and join up with Serena instead? Even if she's sexier as a woman, that can't be. Sure, Serena has a great figure with bountiful ass and tits, so I understand you. I clasped the staff that Lin wordlessly swung at me between my hands. Heh, a warrior like me won't keep falling for the physical attacks of a mage. How naive, Lin. Do you think I'd be so easy? Idiot. Don't cast magic at such close ranges. A soft light slowly started forming at the tip of the staff. This girl is chanting magic while swinging her staff around. I'll put up with it this time because Fate Fortune is here. Can I continue? Please do. Her expressionless face is really scary. While you were out, I ran into the two of them and had a talk, but all they said were stuff like, we are busy protecting Serena right now, and we must protect her from the villain, so I couldn't get through to them at all. There is definitely something strange going on here. That behavior is not normal. Keith is a lecherous virgin, so it wouldn't be surprising if he does end up acting like that, but there's no way Taylor would do the same. He has a soft spot, but there's no way he would break a promise without even providing a reason. Yeah, exactly. Keith aside, Taylor isn't that kind of person. I feel sorry for Keith. Fate 4, her cheeks stuffed to bursting with food, interjected into the conversation. Lin cleared her throat and continued. Anyway, I looked into it a bit more, and there seems to be quite a few adventurers who are acting in a similar way. Luna did mention something like that. Like they were infatuated with Serena and stopped showing up for work. Feels like there might be something deeper behind this, right? And one more thing, no one knows what sect Serena is a priest of. Spells cast by different sects can stack when placed on the same target. Her spells stack on top of buffs applied by the Eris Church, so I know she isn't a follower of Eris. Most of the priests in this country are of the Eris Church, right? With a small minority belonging to the Axis cult. There are quite a few Axis cultists in this town, but their numbers couldn't hold a candle to the Eris Church whose name influenced the currency of this country. So that leaves the Axis cult, or an even less well-known sect. This is getting more and more suspicious. Well, I always thought that she smelled fishy. Weren't you praising her not too long ago about how she isn't fixated on money? I don't remember. People who appear upright are always hiding some shady stuff behind the scenes. Perhaps that's the same for Serena too? She might appear to be a proper priest on the outside, but perhaps she's secretly an Axis cultist on a plot to gain more followers. Would an Axis cultist really resort to such a roundabout means of recruitment? They are really persistent when it comes to soliciting new followers and don't mind resorting to underhanded means, but they always let the cat out of the bag before too long. Now that she mentions it, it's true. Axis cultists' recruitment plots are usually far more straightforward, and they might be willing to resort to all kinds of things, but I'm pretty sure lying about which goddess they follow isn't something most Axis cultists are willing to do. Perhaps I should look into investigating Serena a little more. By the way, I don't see Aquane-chan around anywhere. Didn't she have some kind of falling out with Serena? Normally, when it starts getting dark, you'd see Aqua drinking up a merry storm at the tavern, but I don't see her around anywhere. Ah yeah, about that. She turned all the wine in the tavern to water when she was arguing with Serena a while back, so she's barred from the tavern for a while. What is she doing? I knew Aqua was worried about losing her position in the party to Serena, but to think that she'd actually do something like that. Still, this means that the chances of Serena being a secret Axis cultists are completely gone. Taylor's sudden change in demeanor is concerning, but personally, I'm too busy earning enough money to feed Fate for. In any case, Serena hasn't done anything, so if we start doing anything strange to her, we would be the ones branded as villains. Let's just keep watch over them for now. For all we know, Taylor and Keith would come back to their senses after a while. Plus, I'm busy finding enough money to feed her. Yeah. The two of them are just chasing after Serena, after all. It's not like they are committing some kind of crime. I don't have anything planned for the future right now, so I'll help you out with the quests. In the end, we couldn't come up with a plan, so we decided to just gather information and keep an eye out for now. Part 10. A few days have passed since then. Since most of the other adventurers have stopped taking on quests, there has been no shortage of quests for us, and we managed to earn quite a sum over the past few days. Most of the money we earned went to feed Fate for, but we still managed to squirrel away enough for our own ends. That's a good thing, but this really is weird, don't you think? Yeah, I've been out of town recently due to all the quests, but there is definitely something strange going on here. Up until a short while ago, the number of adventurers in the guild could be counted on one hand, but the moment Serena appeared, "Hey, I've heard that Serena-sama's holding a sermon. Get a move on. It's this way. You'll miss out on seeing Serena-sama's esteemed face if you don't hurry." A wave of adventurers appeared alongside her, and the guild suddenly became alive. I think I can see Keith and Taylor within that wave of humanity. You're joking, right? What's with her popularity? I expected her fan club to be mostly made out of nothing but perverted old men, but there were quite a few women in that wave as well. Despite the large crowd, all they did was get into a queue and told Serena about their worries. How do I put this? It's surprisingly plain. I would have thought for sure that she'd be recruiting followers with erotic or even illegal methods, but she's just running a consultation. Still, we haven't had a priest like Priest in this town, so I suppose it is a fresh feeling. They seem to hold her in high regard. There are plenty of weirdos amongst the priests who choose to become adventurers. This town in particular is known as a gathering spot for weirdos. Even priests who lust for money aren't a particularly rare sight. But a priest who provides her services for free, it's definitely fishy. You can't trust someone like her at all. In the first place, clergy are people who placate the masses with empty words in order to rake in money through donations or tithes without lifting a finger. A priest who doesn't seek compensation or solicit new members can't exist in this world. Say, do you have some bad experiences with the clergy in the past? If it's about the Axis cult, I have a list as long as my arm. Still, there are quite a few pieces of their doctrine that I agree with. In particular, I'm honestly envious of the way they simply heed their desires and enjoy living each day. While Lin and I chatted, we continued observing Serena. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted Kazuma and his party seated a short distance away. It seemed like the entire party was present, but the usually upbeat Aqua was looking like a wilted flower. It seems like her companions were trying to comfort her. I was blinded by money the other day and praised Serena, but seeing Aqua like this made me feel really guilty. If I had to choose between those two priests, I think I'll definitely come down on Aqua's side. Hey, wait, where are you going? I spotted Kazuma over there. I'm thinking of maybe buying them a drink. And I'll give them an apology while I'm at it. When I got up and started making my way over there, Kazuma suddenly stood up and started running at Serena. Let's both take a nap today. I'll leave thinking about how to seriously get in your way for tomorrow. With that, he jumped up and delivered a flying drop kick to Serena's face. Serena was sent flying, but for some reason, Kazuma too was sent flying in the other direction. The two of them collapsed to the floor, and a stunned silence fell on the guild. I don't know who it was who let out that confused squeak, but that seemed to be the signal that broke everyone out of their daze. How did this happen? Hurry up and see to Serena-sama. And call the cops too. Grab the guy who drop-kicked Serena. Wait, isn't this Kazuma? The adventurers erupted into a frenzy, but when it became clear that the culprit was Kazuma, they suddenly became at a loss for what to do. The only adventurers in this town who don't know who Kazuma is are either newly arrived beginners or visitors from other towns. During that period of indecision, Darkness walked up and put herself between the slowly angering crowd and Kazuma. I don't know the reason, but he's not the kind of man who'd do something like this on a whim. Please let me handle him. No matter what reasons he might have, kicking a woman in the face is clearly a crime. Even if you are the daughter of the Lord, I won't stand for it. Please step aside. Yeah. Those words failed to placate them, and the crowd slowly started closing in. I looked over to Taylor and Keith, and they seemed to be just standing there in a daze. Just what are you doing? I understand your anger. Feel free to vent all your frustrations on me. I welcome both harsh words and fists. If you want, you can even resort to both at the same time. Now, come, there's no need to hold back. With flushed cheeks and heavy breaths, Darkness spread out her arms and presented herself before the crowd. She sounded really cool at the start. There were a few who seemed put off by that speech, but there were still quite a number of them who continued advancing towards Kazuma and Darkness. Dust, this is starting to look really bad. Lin pulled on my sleeve and said in a somewhat worried tone. That crowd is practically infatuated with Serena. It wouldn't be surprising if they went overboard against an unresisting target who placed herself at their mercy like that. I guess I'll buy some time until the cops arrive. I don't know why he'd suddenly do something like that, but it's obvious who I'd trust more in this case. I took off my jacket as I approached the crowd that now formed around Kazuma and covered my face with a handkerchief. Then, when I felt like I was deep enough into the crowd, I started grabbing at the asses of the people around me. Kaya! Who grabbed my butt just now? Hee, that's a nice ass you've got. Apuwa. Hey, someone grabbed my butt too. Damn it, wrong one. There's a pervert taking advantage of the situation to cop a feel on both men and women. Watch out. I'm doing this to help a friend of mine out of a tough spot. It's definitely not me taking advantage of the chaos to cop a feel. Don't misunderstand. As proof, I'm even touching the asses of men. With the sudden appearance of a pervert, the situation became even more chaotic. Right, I think it's about time to pull out. I tried to disengage, but someone suddenly grabbed a hold of my wrist. I found the pervert. What a lowlife, taking advantage of when Serena-sama is facing a problem to do such acts. Everyone, get him. Ah, crap. Serena's clothes are all ripped up. She's basically half nude. Really? What are you talking about? She's fully clothed. Ah, shit. I took advantage of the distraction to shake his grip on me and immediately ran away. He's really fast for a pervert. This is the speed I gained from regularly running from the cops. Don't think you can catch up so easily. Be careful, he's a repeat offender too. The police finally showed up just as I was leading the bunch that were originally closing in on Kazuma around the guild. Passing by Lin, who was giving me an exasperated look, I dove out the window and onto the streets. The crowd was worried over Serena, so most of them didn't follow me outside. Once I rounded a few corners into an alley, I removed the handkerchief covering my face. Seems like I managed to shake them. Guess I'll head back to the guild after everyone has calmed down some. Until then, Lin will probably handle Fate 4 just fine. She's quite well behaved as long as she has enough food to eat, after all. Those two don't get along very well, but they'll probably be fine during dinner. Still, why did Kazuma do something like that? He must know something about Serena. Though, what should I do next? If he has some kind of plan, it'd probably be best if I don't get in his way. That means I should talk to Kazuma before doing anything else. Still, the problem is that I have Fate 4 with me. Even if it was just to gather information, I'd stand out terribly if I was carrying a child on my back. Anyway, paying for food comes first. If I have the money, the rest should naturally fall into place. I couldn't think of any course of action right now, so after seeing Kazuma being safely escorted away by the cops, I snuck back into the guild. Part 11. The very next day, Kazuma and Serena were happily chatting to each other like nothing happened. There's definitely something off with the two of them having a candid conversation after one of them kicked the other in the face. And in the end, nothing more serious than Kazuma throwing a slight wrench into Serena's consultation took place. Though, for a brief moment, Serena's mannerisms changed to something far rougher than what we usually see. That's probably her true nature. I don't know what Kazuma is up to, but whatever he's doing is definitely going to be amusing to watch. I would really love to keep an eye on his activities, but I have my hands full with my own problems. Right, that's today's quota reached. You know, I think this is the first time in your life you've ever treated work so seriously. Don't be a wet blanket just as I'm celebrating the conclusion of the quests, Lin. Fate 4 has been riding on my back during the battle, but now that the battle is over, she got off and dropped down next to Lin, who was roasting the dead frog with deft motions. Their relationship might have been strained at first, but they seem to have gotten closer after spending the last few days together. I'll have it roasted in just a moment, so wait there for a while, okay? Yun is faster. Second rate. A vein started popping on Lin's temple. They are acting just like a mother-in-law and the bride. Seems like it'd take a little more time before they could get along with each other. Despite her complaints, Fate 4 happily dug into the roasted frog once it was done. Taylor and Keith still haven't come back. While watching Fate 4 enjoy her meal, Lin said melancholically. We caught up with Taylor and Keith after that and forced them to talk to us, but the only thing they said in response was, "We're busy guarding Serenasima." It's clear that they are under some kind of spell or curse. Before I became an adventurer, I ended up in a similar state after an encounter with a cursed item. I tried to get into contact with Kazuma to join forces, but he seemed to have vanished without even telling his companions where he is. Last I heard, he's been constantly harassing Serena. And they seem to be pretty mean-spirited too. Serena's facade has been cracking more and more recently. Kazuma seems to be planning something, so if we are lucky, it won't be long before they come back to us. I really don't like leaving it all in the hands of someone else, but it's hard to even talk to her with the number of bodyguards around her these days. Serena seems to be constantly surrounded by a swarm of bodyguards these days, probably as a reaction to Kazuma's harassment. Just trying to get close to her would see us getting thrown out. Let's observe for now. They are just hanging around Serena. It's not like they are out committing crimes or anything. Yeah, she's suspicious, but she doesn't seem to be treating them badly. Don't give me that melancholic look. When those two idiots get back, I'm going to lecture them. I'll make them pay for enough food to fill Fate 4's belly. The guild was oddly quiet when we returned. It wasn't completely deserted, but the few adventurers that were here are all mostly alone and staring off into space. Just like us, their companions went off to join Serena, so, lacking the means to take on most quests, most of them simply spend their days whiling time away here at the guild. Normally, walking into the guild with a child clinging onto my back would have drawn all kinds of jeers from the guild, but not only were there no such calls, there wasn't even a single person who came up to ask about our relationship. Well, I suppose having less trouble to deal with is a good thing. Still, I need to do something. I'm practically the face of this guild, the big boss of the adventurers. The Adventurers Guild of Axel should be far more lively than this. The crazy explosion girl who gets teased by the people in the guild, the female knight who seemingly steps in to stop them, but instead starts encouraging them to tease her instead. The priest whose only good point is party tricks, my best friend standing amongst them with an exasperated expression. And all the regular bastards laughing along with them. This just isn't right. What's wrong, Dust? You don't look like yourself. Your face looks like the past you. I'm tired of seeing Lin getting so worried over her companions too. And I really want to show Fate 4 the usual Lively Adventurers Guild too. Right, I think it's time to stop fooling around and seriously start working on a way to deal with Serena. What great timing. Dust, do you think you can lend me a hand? The moment that statement left my lips, an unexpected voice called out to me from behind. Chapter 3 Part 1 Currently, I'm having a drink with an old friend at a particular bar where lots of adventurers tend to gather. I received quite a bit of war funds from Kazuma, so I could afford to enjoy some of the more high-grade drinks. Right now, I'm fulfilling Kazuma's requests. The favor that my bosom pal asked of me is to aid in harassing Serena. Specifically, he wanted me to spread rumors that would tarnish her reputation in this town. He couldn't give me his exact reasoning, but I accepted anyway. The bag of money he was offering as advance payment played a part in that decision, but it mostly came down to the fact that I wanted to do something too. Bars at night is the best way to spread any sort of rumor, so after some extensive persuasion attempts, I managed to get Fate 4 to agree to stick with Lin and came here alone. There's no way I'd be able to visit a bar with a young girl clinging to me, after all. Hey, you heard about that priest Serena that's been wandering around the town as of late? Yeah, that's the name on everyone's lips lately. Ah, she sure is beautiful. I want to get close to her, too. This is just a rumor I heard, but apparently she has certain unique tastes when it comes to men. Unique tastes? Tell me more. Oh, he sure bit on hard. Apparently, she likes the smell of men, especially the musky ones that sweat a lot. She'll probably love it if you send her some unwashed socks as a gift. I mean, you've seen how she surrounds herself with nothing but burly men, right? Well, that's because she's surrounding herself with strong adventurers to help ward off Kazuma's harassment. Now that you mention it. Wait, seriously. Normally, no one would believe such a silly story, but with the amount of strong wine he's been drinking at my expense, it's easy to get him to believe any story I want. And one more thing. Ah, this is a secret between us, alright? Don't tell anyone else. I suddenly lowered my voice and leaned in, seemingly taken aback by my sudden serious demeanor. The man nodded. From what I've heard, Serena is actually a man. You're joking. Hey, keep it down. I told you to keep it a secret, right? Sorry. Even after he's quietened down, excitement still glimmered in his eyes. He'll definitely spread these news around later. As a general rule, no secret told in a bar ever remains one. Anyway, now that I've gotten his interest, it's time to layer the story a little more. I heard this from her usual crowd of hanger-ons. Apparently, her voice occasionally cracks and she starts using far more vulgar language. In the first place, don't you think the prim and proper air she maintains about herself is a little forced to begin with? Seriously? She looks so pretty, but she's actually a man? No, wait, it's certainly not impossible. He crossed his arms and nodded. Seems like he bought it. It's far easier to make up a believable rumor if you mix a little kernel of truth into it. At this rate, it wouldn't be long before everyone in the bar knows about it. So tell this to your customers. Why would I do that? I went to the succubus shop in order to try and get lowly succubus's help in spreading these rumors, only for her to shut me down. You don't get it? This will help you too, you know. In what way would talking about somebody I don't even know be beneficial to me? Do you know the kind of state your store is in? Take a look around. It's practically empty. After scanning the store for a brief moment, lowly succubus let out a huge sigh. Normally, this store would be stuffed with male adventurers around this time, but right now, if you include me, there are only 3 people present. True, we haven't been getting very many customers lately, but what does that have to do with this Serena-san? Of course it does. That woman has pretty much all the men wrapped around her finger. In other words, I deliberately paused in order to draw the attention of the other succubi. Due to the store being practically deserted right now, my voice carried pretty far. After confirming that the bored-looking succubi hanging around were looking in my direction, I raised my voice just a tad and said, Serena is more adept at charming men than succubi. I feel like the temperature in the room suddenly dropped by several degrees. The stares of the succubi suddenly became far more intense, and I could see them staring daggers at me out of the corner of my eye. I can't let that slip by. Are you saying that a human priest is better at charming men than us succubi? Even as a joke, that's not funny. Even though she's smiling, I can feel an immense pressure coming out from lowly succubus. I think this is the first time I've seen her get this angry. Having men under their thrall be stolen away from them is the ultimate insult to succubi. I brought this up because I knew they would react to it, but it seems to be far more effective than I expected. Right? I don't think Serena's charms is anywhere close to that of you succubi. She was talking up her pure and innocent image and joking about being more charming than even succubi. She was making fun of other women of the night too, but, well, if you have no interest in this, I guess it can't be helped. When I pretended to give up and tried to get out of my seat, lowly succubus, and the other succubi who've somehow surrounded me before I noticed, pushed me back down. Tell me more. X4S sure. Despite the fact that I was surrounded by a bunch of scantily clad women, the only thing I could feel was the rivets of cold sweat running down my back. Part 2 the next day, when Fate 4 took an afternoon nap after eating her fill, I left her sleeping in the room and went out to town. Those rumors are going to sound a lot more convincing coming out of those girls than me. With this, it's going to spread like wildfire amongst the male adventurers. Judging from how enthusiastic the succubi are, that gossip will be common knowledge amongst the men within a few days. I'll also put in some legwork and visit the taverns at night to help the buzz roll along while enjoying a few drinks. The problem is others. I'm not really trusted by the townsfolk and the women. I'd really like the help of someone who's in the good graces of those people. Dust-san, is Fate 4 not with you today? The suspicious-seeming girl who had been pacing in front of a fashionable cafe on the main street suddenly called out to me. Oh, wait, it's Yun. She should have just entered the store if she wants to, but I suppose it's hard for someone as shy as her to walk into a brand new store on her own. You know, if you're free enough to brisk walk in front of that store, why don't you help me out? Actually, never mind. Stopping halfway just makes me more curious. It's way too heavy of a burden for you, that's why I said never mind. Neither of us wants to work on a fruitless task, right? What's that supposed to mean? I'm the future chief of the Crimson Demons. I'm not like you who does nothing but lays around every day. As I am right now, I'm confident I can handle whatever challenge comes my way. She sure does sound confident. Did she gain a little more confidence after passing that chieftain's trial or whatever? Though, her newfound pride does rub me the wrong way a little. Well, if you're that self-assured, I'll entrust this task to you. There's a certain rumor I want you to spread amongst your friends. No, I mean, acquaintances. It should be an easy task for the future chief of the Crimson Demons, right? Sorry, I can't do that. Her confidence sure does disappear in a hurry, huh? I knew she wouldn't be up to the task at first glance, which is why I stopped myself. If I can ask, who and what is that rumor about? You know that new priest, Serena, right? Yes, I know her. I asked her to help me make friends, but she told me not even the power of Regina can do that. Even a god can't win against her loner aura. Speaking of which, Regina is the minor god that Serena worships. I asked around, but it doesn't seem like anyone knows much about her. It seems to be a fairly unpopular faith. You seem to be someone who'd be easily tricked, but nothing happened to you, right? Say, what do you think of Serena? Well, I'm envious of how many friends she has. She seems to be acting the same as usual. I don't know how exactly Serena is gaining followers so quickly, but at the very least it doesn't seem like anyone she talks to automatically becomes her fervent follower. It's best if you don't get too close to her. She's a bad person to get involved with. For Dust-san to make such a warning, is she that dangerous? She's especially dangerous to you. In Union's case, as long as you use the word friend, she'd pretty much do anything, so you don't even need to brainwash her or whatever Serena is using. Union seems to have come to her own conclusions and nodded before leaving. As for influencing the townsfolk and the female adventurers, I guess I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Seems like I'll be busy spreading rumors for the next few days. Part 3 half of the money Kazuma gave me went towards feeding and placating Fate 4, which allowed me to spend almost every night out in the taverns buying drinks and spreading rumors. It seems to be working well. Just the other day, I heard that Serena, along with a large number of adventurers in tow, were chasing Kazuma halfway across the town. Those rumors and Kazuma's continued harassment must have gotten to her. Well, that's all fine and all, but the next piece of news I received almost made me want to grab my head and scream. For some reason, Kazuma ended up as a follower of Serena too. He's practically abandoned his mansion and has been living full-time with Serena these past few days. What confused me even further is that the other adventurers slowly came back to their senses after that, including Taylor and Keith. Right now, both of them are drinking happily in front of me. I'm surprised you guys dare come back all dandy like this. Weren't you going to spend the rest of your life as Serena's followers? Well, about that, I don't remember that time period too well. Even I myself don't know exactly why I became so obsessed with her. Me too. It felt like my mind was filled with fog or something. Though, I'm perfectly sober now. It doesn't seem to me like they are playing dumb. I knew it, they must have been brainwashed by magic or some other method. Don't think you can play dumb by pretending to forget things whenever it's convenient for you. The heavens are watching you. Now, hurry up and cough up some compensation money. If you give me everything you have, I'll forgive you. Dust, conveniently pretending to forget things is your specialty, isn't it? They are safe and back with us, so let it go already. Lynn has an exasperated look on her face, but she also seems to be relieved. She has had a lonely look in her eyes in the past few days, but it seems to be a thing of the past now. If you coddle them too much, they'll become spoiled. As their owner, we need to properly discipline them. Who the hell are you calling a pet? X2 Lynn tried to break us up as the two of them pounced on me, but despite that, she had a smile on her face. Well, that's one problem off my list, at least. Hey, that's a little too hard. Don't you know what restraint means? Sorry, it's been a while, so it seems I've put in a bit too much strength. By the way, what happened to Fate 4? I don't see her around. She was still sleeping when I left the room, but it's about time she wakes up. I'll go check up on her. Order some food for her when we get back, okay? It'd be your treat, of course. Normally I'd refuse, but I'll do it just this once. It seems like I caused quite a bit of trouble for you, after all. Keith waved one of the waitresses over, and I headed upstairs to Fate 4's room. When I opened the door, the bed was empty. She didn't go out alone, did she? I told her not to wander off on her own. Is she entering her rebellious period? You're going to run into all kinds of problems if you go out on the town by yourself. What's this? There was a piece of paper on the table next to the bed. On it was a sentence written in a crude, but still legible hand. You won't take me out to play, so I'm going outside. Did Fate 4 write this? I always knew she was a smart kid, but she even learned how to write. She's sure grown. Ah, wait, now's not the time to be impressed. Come to think of it, I haven't been able to spend much time with her lately because of the Serena incident. That's probably why she's sulking and went out alone. Up till a few days ago, this town was filled with devoted Serena followers, so I didn't feel comfortable taking her out, but as of right now, the only one acting weird is Kazuma. The town has pretty much gone back to the old days, so it shouldn't be particularly risky even if Fate 4 is out there on her own. In the first place, I doubt anyone in this town would be able to track her down. Apart from Sir Vonair. She might not be in any danger, but she doesn't have much knowledge of the outside world, so. Fate 4 looks like a simple young girl, and she's probably starving right now. If someone were to approach her carelessly, she might very well bite their heads off. That was a really grotesque scene I just envisioned. Yeah, I should probably go look for her. To be honest, there's not really a lot of risk to her safety, but there's no telling what they'll say if it becomes known that I abandoned a young girl alone out on the streets. I quickly explained the situation to my companions and had them help me out in the search. I can't find her. Where did she go? Rather than looking around like this, wouldn't it be faster if we lay a bunch of meat skewers along the streets to lure her back to the guild or something instead? That sounds like a decent idea, but if the cops were to see me leaving skewers around the street, they'll probably take me in for questioning. I'm not exactly the most popular man amongst the police right now. I even visited the old man at the general store and lowly succubus, but they didn't see her either. At this point, I've pretty much visited every cafe, restaurant, tavern, and soup kitchen in town, but there just isn't any sign of her. Seriously, where the hell did she go? Arg, guess I have to rely on Keith and the others. I made my way back to the plaza that we agreed to be our meeting point earlier, but the only person there was Lynn. Judging from your appearance, it doesn't seem like you found her. You seem empty-handed too. Keith and Taylor went out to search again. Say, do you have any idea where Fate 4 might go in this town? I can only picture her eating or sleeping, and she does like plains and forests. She did use to drag me around those places back in the day. Apart from that, I suppose she enjoys playing in the water. Oh, you sure sound like you had a lot of fun back in the day. Seems like you know a lot about that girl. To think that a girl that young would be within your range too. I just honestly answered your question, so why are you getting unhappy? I really want to shoot back, but right now, Fate 4 comes first. Though, I suppose there's something I should say. Who cares about the past? And, Lynn, do I really look like I'm not enjoying myself in this town? The only thing you do every day is cause problems for everyone else, so, okay, yes, I was mistaken. Seeing you concede the point so quickly like that makes me a little irritated. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, back to Fate 4, from what you just told me, isn't it possible that she might have gone out of town? It's certainly not impossible. Could it be that the outside she wrote on that letter was referring to outside the town? In the past, I didn't really pay much attention to my actions, but I found that I've become much more aware of them ever since she came to me in Axel. No wait, I'm a little slow on the uptake when it comes to this, but how did Fate 4 know I'm in this town in the first place? Ever since I left the country, I haven't kept in touch with anyone from back home. No matter how good her nose is, there's no way she'd be able to track me down all the way from there. No, there's no point in thinking about it now. After I track her down, I'll ask her about it while lecturing her. If she really went outside, we need to hurry. A giant frog would eat her in a single gulp. Wouldn't that be a little too much for her? Fate 4 might be a big eater, but even so, there's no way she can swallow a giant frog in a single gulp. Huh. X2 The two of us exchanged confused looks. It feels like we aren't on the same page. Anyway, if we have time to talk, it'd be better used heading to the gate. It'd be faster to just ask the gatekeeper. Yeah, I'm sure the gatekeeper isn't so foolish as to let a young girl go out of the town by herself. Upon reaching the gates, I called out to a bored-looking guard who was standing around. Say, have you seen white-haired brat wandering around here? Hey, you, at least explain it a little better. Have you seen a young girl about this tall with long, white hair around here? Lynn placed her hand around her waist and conveyed Fate 4's height in an easy-to-understand manner. Nah, I haven't seen her. The only people who've passed through today are a few carriages and a couple of adventurers' parties. We especially keep an eye out for lost children, so it's doubtful that she could pass by us without any of us noticing. Yeah, the primary duty of the gatekeepers is to keep outside threats from entering the town, but part of their job also includes preventing mischievous children from sneaking out. On busy days, it's possible to blend in with the crowd and sneak out that way, but with the recent fears of the Demon King's army on the march, there haven't been very many people going out of town. And the walls that surround Axel are tall and thick. They were recently renovated after Aqua destroyed a part of them with her flood, so they should still be very sturdy. It would normally be impossible to get over them, but that's a relief. Axel is a pretty safe town, so there shouldn't be much to worry about. As I looked up at the ramparts, Lynn breathed a sigh of relief. Yeah, she wouldn't do something so flashy. Right then, let's search the town again. It's probably about time she started rummaging through trash looking for food. She isn't you, Dust. There's no way she'd do that. You've seen how she acts when she's hungry. Are you really sure she wouldn't do that? Let's hurry up and find her. Lynn has been looking after her while I wasn't around these past few days, so it seems she's gotten to know her very well. As Lynn ran down the street shouting Fate 4's name, I turned back and gave one last lingering look at the gate. Nah, there's no way. Part 4 A few hours passed without any one of us being able to locate her, so we decided to gather at the guild to calm down and exchange information. For some reason, Yun and lowly succubus were there too, along with my companions. What are you guys doing here? Because we are worried, obviously. Is it true that Fate 4 ran away from home? I'm curious as to what her exact relationship is with you, Dust-san. Yun seemed to be genuinely worried as she shook me by the shoulders. Lowly succubus on the other hand seemed to be here out of curiosity than true concern. Rather than run away, it's more like she took a walk around the town. Why are you treating it so casually? A young child is walking around outside the town by herself, you know? What Yun is saying isn't a lie. According to Keith and Taylor, someone sighted a person who fit Fate 4's description getting onto a carriage. And we couldn't catch hide nor hair of her anywhere in town despite combing it over several times by now, so the chances of her having left the town is quite high. Even I am starting to get seriously worried about her. Are you really that heartless of a person? Don't you two men gang up on me like that. Lynn and lowly succubus didn't say anything, but they both gave me a cold gaze. Is this what they mean when they say a look can convey more than words? Sigh, there is a reason why I'm not worried for her. I was lying when I said that her parents brought her to this town. The truth is, she came over to Axel from the neighboring country by herself. It's quite possible that she went back home by herself too. That doesn't match at all with the letter she wrote. There's no reason for her to leave such a note if she's really going back home. Do you really find the search so bothersome that you're willing to come up with such a lie? Lin got up in my face with a furrowed brow. I didn't think you were that heartless of a person. You really are scum. I already knew this from the start, but you really know how to exceed my expectations. That's really horrible. The shop raises the price for people who don't treat girls well, you know. Everyone started berating me. Do you have any other excuse, or anything you're hiding from us? If there is, you best come out with it. Lin's tone was less of an interrogation and more akin to someone asking out of concern. Did she pick up on something after spending so much time with Fate 4 over the past few days? If I tell them about her true identity, it'd probably clear up a lot of the misunderstandings and suspicions they had. However, more so than letting her wander around the countryside, revealing her true form would be a greater risk to Fate 4's safety. TCH, shut up. I'm going to sleep, so if you want to keep searching, you guys can do it yourself. I put on a disgruntled act before leaving the guild. I could hear them shouting behind me, but I ignored them. Where did that unruly girl run off to? If she's looking to stretch her wings, she'd probably go to the forests, right? She shouldn't have gone too far, but even after searching around the outskirts of town until it became dark, I couldn't find any traces of her at all. Never mind Fate 4 herself. Part 5. 2 days have passed since then. Fate 4 never returned. It seemed like my companions, Yun and lowly succubus continued searching for her, but in the end they didn't get anywhere close to locating her. As for what became of my reputation during this time, well, hey, the fiend who made use of and abandoned a young girl is approaching. A person who tricks a child to take advantage of her before abandoning her. I think calling him a fiend is an insult to fiends. The adventurers whispered in voices just loud enough to be heard by me. It's nice that the guild is beginning to fill back up with adventurers after the Serena incident wrapped up, but more people means an easier time for rumors to spread, and this is the result. Even so, I boldly strode over to my seat at the corner of the guild. I'm not the kind of person who responds just because one or two more bad rumors started spreading about me. Outsiders can wag their tongues however much they want. It seems like he's grown tired of young girls and is now more interested in mature women instead. That short, pink-haired one at that store told me. Actually, I heard that he leans both ways. That strange helmeted man said that some time ago, so I'm sure it's true. Just because 3 or 4 more bad rumors. I heard that he actually looks up to that crazy crimson demon girl and has been begging her to take him as her disciple or something. Ah, what I heard is that he's actually really compatible with young Lady Lalatina's tastes, and they frequently meet up at night to visit a certain club. Just 5 or 6. You bastards. I can stomach the other rumors, but don't lump me together with Kazuma's party. All of you guys stay right there. I'll give it to all of you in sequence. As for you girls, present your breasts or your ass. I'll let you off with just a grope. Bring it on. X4 I confronted those adventurers who were spreading such slander about me, which resulted in a huge fight that led to all of us getting thrown out of the guild. My companions were in the guild too, but they simply looked on without lifting a finger. Are they still angry at me? I need to hurry up and find Fate 4 and dismiss all these rumors sprouting up around me. As I walked down the familiar road to the main gates, a woman's voice called out to me. Hey, perverted-looking delinquent over there. You sure say something horrible out of the blue. I'm in a really bad mood right now, so even if you are a woman, I won't hold back. You look really different. Turning back, the woman who called out to me is none other than the popular priest, Serena. The Serena I know was a dignified and gentle woman who, despite projecting a prim and proper image, has a somewhat sultry air about her. However, the woman standing in front of me has frayed hair, bags under her eyes, and hollow cheeks. It's obvious at a glance that she's not exactly in the prime of health. It's all that guy's fault. Her rough tone and words were completely unsuited to that proper priest image that she had before. So she really was putting on an act before. So is this your true nature? By that man, are you talking about my friend Kazuma? You bastard, you're a friend of Kazuma? Damn it, of all people. Oh, did I hit it on the head? He, making an enemy out of my friend isn't going to turn out well for you. His deviousness is far beyond anything you'd expect from a small, 2-bit villain. He's quick-witted and isn't above stooping to dirty tricks. Even though his skills as an adventurer aren't too much to speak of, he has defeated several Demon King's generals through that alone. Definitely a gem you should keep an eye on. I'm well aware of that. Sigh, he was supposed to become my ally, so how did it end up like this? Serena heaved a sigh so deep that I swear I could see her soul peeking out. Seems like I can leave this matter in Kazuma's hands and it'll be resolved before too long. I don't know what's going on, but my condolences. Anyway, if there's nothing else, I'll be heading off. Hold on a minute, there is some business I have with you. Take a look at this. With that, she suddenly lifted the hem of her robes and flashed her panties at me. Black, huh. She has a pure and innocent image, so wearing black panties makes me give her a lot of points. You sure wear some really bold underwear. Why, you look like a pervert, but is that all you're going to say? You just saw the underwear of a priest, you know? Shouldn't you be a little more thankful about that? What are you saying? You are the one who decided to flash your panties at me. Why would I be thankful for that? There's nothing in it for me. It seems like this girl doesn't understand the finer points of seduction. Sigh, you don't get it. Intentionally flashing yourself without the slightest hint of shame is just playing at seduction. Such basic tricks won't work on someone like me who's been in the care of the cops numerous times because of peeking. I've been coaching lowly succubus through those points, so I know exactly how powerful just a hint of shame can be. Plus, I'm busy right now. Why is this guy saying such things so proudly? Is there no decent person amongst the acquaintances of Satu Kazuma? Just what is wrong with this town? She cradled her head and said in a strained voice. Seems like Kazuma is giving her all kinds of hell. Still, this woman is really blind to her own shortcomings. Even though she's a simple slut. I thought it'd be easy to get some money out of this guy. She was mumbling something under her breath, but staying here any longer would just be a waste of time, so I ignored her and carried on. Part 6, not here either. I ran into a few one-strike rabbits and took care of them, but still no sign of Fate 4. Maybe she really did get homesick and went back home. Still, is she really someone who'd go back without saying anything to me? Well, she might still be holding a grudge against me not taking her along when I left, so she's doing this as revenge. If so, I really have no right to be angry. I slapped my cheeks and took a deep breath. I guess I can search a little longer. It isn't a problem if she went back home, but it'd be a big problem if she's only hiding somewhere in this country. I skinned one of the one-strike rabbits I defeated and took it along with me. It wouldn't be worth much more than a snack to Fate 4, but it'd at least settle her stomach a little. I suppose I should start searching places a little further from town. Fate 4 wouldn't have any problems straying far from town, after all. I'll end the search close to town and extend my range a little further. I spent the entire day searching, but still no progress. Perhaps it's about time I seriously start considering bowing before Lin and the others and begging for their forgiveness. I have no intentions of stopping the search for Fate 4, but being left out alone like this is taking a heavy toll on me psychologically. So this is how Yun feels. I think I'll be a little kinder to her in the future. When I returned to the guild, fully prepared for any kind of heckling, the guild was in such an uproar that they didn't even notice my presence. The guild staff were busy running around, putting up notices on the board, and adventurers were excitedly gathering around it. Did they put up some lucrative quests or something? I elbowed myself to the front of the notice board, and pasted front and center is a large poster, reading, "Capture the White Dragon." What? As I was taken aback by the completely unexpected contents, one of the other adventurers shoved me back and I was ejected from the crowd. Normally, I'd be fuming right now, but this is not the time for that. Seriously? Ah, it's dust. I must be pretty out of it. I didn't notice Lin's presence until she called out to me. Keith and Taylor were standing behind her too. The fact that they called out to me means that they aren't angry with me anymore, right? I saw the quest poster. That's the talk of the town right now. It seems like several people witnessed a white dragon not too far from here, so the guild is really starting to mobilize. Is it really that white dragon? Yeah, it's the same white dragon that's rumored to bring good luck and wealth. Everyone who's looking to strike it rich has their eyes on it. White dragons are, as their name implies, dragons with a pure white body with a strong holy attribute. They are said to be fairly intelligent and docile, but as a species they are considered on the verge of extinction. The bones and fangs of white dragons are said to raise your luck and allow you to make money hand over fist, right? Nobles, merchants, and other folks with too much money to spare will pay a handsome sum for them. If we manage to capture one, we would be able to live the rest of our lives in luxury. What Keith is saying isn't wrong. The materials of white dragons go for extremely high prices on the market. Amongst noble circles, it was even rumored that the blood of a white dragon can reduce aging or even grant eternal youth. It was commonly believed that the people who believed such rumors hunted the white dragons to extinction a long time ago, until a few years back. Speaking of white dragons, the most famous one would have to be that Dragon Knight, right? Yun suddenly cut Taylor off. Her presence is as faint as always. Still, this is a rare occasion for her. As a general rule, she almost never joins a conversation of her own accord. Which Dragon Knight are you referring to? Sorry for cutting you off like that. No, you don't need to apologize, just tell me more about that Dragon Knight. Yun repeatedly bowed her head, but Lin simply brushed it aside and pressed on. You know about the Dragon Knights of the neighboring country, right? Amongst them, there was a particular Dragon Knight who was said to be the very exemplar of a knight, with both a sharp mind and handsome looks. The dragon that knight rode was a white dragon. Or so I've heard. Yun grew more and more excited as she told the story, and her voice grew louder and louder, before she seemed to notice and hastily composed herself. Doesn't it sound amazing? A knight riding a white dragon. Ha, that's so dreamy. I wish a white dragon riding prince will appear in front of me someday. TL note, lit, prince, riding a white horse is the Japanese equivalent of Prince Charming. In KonoSuba the horse is replaced with a dragon, but it otherwise has the same connotation. Let's just leave Yun to get lost in her own imagination for a while. I heard that story too. Apparently he kidnapped their princess and took her around the country. It's a crime that would have led to immediate execution, but it turns out that he didn't kidnap her, the princess herself asked him to do it. But it still didn't change the fact that he spirited the princess away for several days. If I recall, his lineage was destroyed and he was exiled from the country. Never mind about that story, let's talk about this quest instead. Are you guys planning on accepting it? This conversation was going in an unfavorable direction, so I forcibly changed the topic. Feeling someone's gaze on me, I turned around to see Lin narrowing her eyes. Looks like I was a little too obvious. Nah, taking on a dragon is a little too much for us. It seems like a bunch of other parties are planning on teaming up to take it down though. If Kazuma and his party were coming along, we might have a shot, but it seems like they are busy with something else and are sitting this one out. If Aqua was coming with us, we could at least count on her resurrection. Seems like Taylor and Keith weren't too keen on it. White dragons are considered to be one of the more docile subtypes, but even so, it's still a dragon. Even if a dozen or so regular adventurers were to get together, it's doubtful they'll be a match for it. According to eyewitness reports, the dragon was engaged in a flashy battle with a monster. The dragon put on a threatening display and scared the guy off, but apparently it didn't do any harm to humans at all. I don't feel like hunting down a creature like that. Threatening display? That phrase seemed to ring a bell, but right now I have more pressing things to take care of. But the quest is also offering a large reward for reliable information about the dragon. If it's the docile type, we might be able to easily find it. You don't often suggest sticking your neck into dangerous situations. If the information is right, there weren't even any casualties. It's a mild-mannered subtype, so it'll be fine. And don't you want to see a rare white dragon with your own eyes? My last words seemed to have struck a chord with their adventurous spirit, and after a short pause, they all readily nodded. Right then, that leaves just one more thing. I took a deep breath to ready myself. And, while we are at it, could you help me look for Fate 4? It'd be really dangerous if she runs into it by accident, right? Plus, there's a limit as to how much ground one person can cover. I looked away to hide my blush. My companion seemed surprised for a moment, but that was soon replaced with cheeky grins. Oh my, didn't you wash your hands off Fate 4 a long time ago? Didn't that girl go home? Hey, you weren't going out looking for her behind our backs, are you? So you do have a cute side, Dust-chan. Damn it, this is why I didn't want to ask them. Stop giving me that grin. Don't poke at my cheeks. I was the one asking a favor of them, so I put up with it, and it didn't take long for them to be satisfied and agree. Can I join you too? Yun nervously raised her hand. Of course, you're welcome. We'll be counting on you if we do end up running into the dragon. Leave it to me. I'm being counted on. With this, the firepower is secured. Still, I really want someone who's well suited for searching. If possible, I want to narrow down the places I should start searching too. And the one place that can fulfill both these requirements would be... Well, that's the situation, so do you think you can help us, sir? I paid a visit to the familiar magic item shop, and in it was Sir Vanir, wearing an apron, and lowly succubus, busy cleaning the floors while wearing a similar apron of her own. She's been spending her days in the magic item shop and her nights at the succubus store recently. As for the beautiful shopkeeper, she's nowhere to be seen. Judging from the scorch marks that lowly succubus was busy trying to wipe away, she must have done something and got punished by Sir again. Basically, you want me to ascertain the current location of that silver-haired girl, yes? Yes, please, sir. I don't have any money on me right now, but I'll definitely pay you back. Really? I put my hands together and bowed, and Sir let out a small sigh. It's hard to tell his mood because of the mask he's wearing, but I can tell that he's exasperated. There's not a single person in this town that would take your promises of payment at your word, but very well. Moi shall divine the girl's location for you. Thank you, sir. However, there is one condition. The conditions that Sir whispered to me sounded reasonable, so I immediately agreed and reached a deal. To request such a thing, as expected of you, sir. Moi has no need to keep secrets. That girl is, currently close to a lake. It appears to be the same place where the Tranquility Girl resided a while back. Ah, I know that place. You're a lifesaver, sir. Oh, and, one more thing, do you mind if I take her along? For Vanir-sama's sake, I'll do any dirty work, Kaya. What are you doing? I grabbed lowly succubus who was busy shaking her, but while cleaning the floor like she was trying to seduce Sir by the collar. I thought I should at least ask first. Do as you please. It's of no concern to me. That's horrible, but, if I can get Vanir-sama to drink the soup that I personally brewed, that might be worth it. Really? Lowly succubus is so infatuated with Sir that if he told her to die, she might seriously do it. I think even the fanatics who follow Serena around are more sensible than that. Right, then I'll be taking her for a while. Hurry up and take off your apron, we're leaving. Is that how you ask others for a favor? Even if we are close, you should still have some manners. Stop making a ruckus in the store. If you are done cleaning, then you no longer have any business here. Go shack up with this delinquent instead. Ah, getting such a cold treatment is nice too. If NTR is to your tastes, no, I mean, it's painful, but I can go with dust. Don't look at me while saying such crazy words. And don't give me such looks of disgust just because Sir can't see you from that angle. I have the right of refusal too. It feels like her infatuation with Sir Vanir is just getting worse by the day. She reluctantly put away her cleaning tools and slowly stripped off her apron in a way that's probably meant to be sexually titillating. But given her appearance, I can't see her as anything but a child. She seems to be conscious of Sir's gaze, but he didn't even glance at her. I'm being ignored, but what is with these feelings welling up within me? Is this the joy of being abandoned? I feel like I understand Darkness-san's feelings a little better now. A new door is opening for me. Hey, don't you dare open that door. There's no need to understand the feelings of a dangerous pervert. The last thing I need in my dreams is to be plagued by the desires of a masochist. As I pulled lowly succubus with me, she reached out to Sir with tears in her eyes. Vanir-sama is getting smaller. When I get back, I need to fill my lungs with Vanir-sama's scent. Ah, the fragment of Vanir-sama's shell that I have still has his smell, right? I need to check when I get back. Isn't Sir's body made of dirt? Wouldn't it just smell like dirt? Say, we already have more than enough perverts in this town, so please don't join their ranks. Don't treat my love for Vanir-sama like some kind of perversion. My love for him is pure. All stalkers say the same thing. I feel a pang of regret for bringing her along, but she is vital to the search. She can fly, after all. Searching for someone would go much faster with someone in the air than on foot. She's still gazing longingly in the direction of the magic item shop, but she should return back to normal after we spend some time away from Sir, right? Part 7, we don't really have enough people to capture a white dragon, but that isn't our objective, so I guess it's fine. Lin, if you say such things, it'll definitely appear, you know? Stop it, don't say such scary things. Following the advice of Sir, The 6 of us are currently heading towards the lake. We ran into several other adventurers along the way, but most of them were headed over to where the dragon was last sighted. That place is quite some distance away from the lake, so there shouldn't be anyone who's beating me to the punch. Vanir-san said that Fate Fortune is by the lake, right? Yeah. Sir Vanir's predictions are always accurate. The accuracy of his predictions is unreal. Though to be more accurate, they are more like prophecies than predictions. I really want to find her right now, but the problem is Sir's words. Just what did he mean by, seems like we've reached the lake. It's quite a large area, so let's split up into 2 teams. One team will take the left shore, the other the right shore, and we should be able to meet up on the other end without letting anything slip by. I didn't have any objections to Taylor's suggestion, so we decided to split the party in 2. On my team is Lin and lowly succubus. The other side is Keith, Taylor, and Yun. Yun's face is stark white with anxiety. She never interacted much with anyone else other than me, and on top of that being the only girl in her party seems to be giving her quite a bit of anxiety. You know, you look like you're about to faint. I am fine. As the future chief of the Crimson Demons, I need to improve my communication skills. There's no way anyone would look at her tremble and stumble over her words like this and think she's fine. We can handle our end with just the 2 of us. I have the farsight skill that is perfect for searching for someone, after all. Yeah, Yun, you can go help them. Us men will be fine on our own. It seems like the 2 of them couldn't stand to see Yun in such discomfort any longer and yielded to her. I can't just go back on something we agreed on. There's no way I can be that selfish. She says that, but at the same time she repeatedly shot expectant glances towards me. From the looks of things, this conversation would probably go around in circles until we extend an invitation. And she'd be too nervous to search for anyone if she's with Keith and Taylor anyways. Fine, you can come with us. You have a lot of experience with telling how someone wandering around by themselves would act, right? Oh fine, if you are willing to go that far, I'll go with you. Despite saying that, she seemed really relieved. I don't think she even picked up on my backhanded compliment there. We split with Taylor's party and started walking along our side of the lake, and so far, nothing unusual has happened. This might be a little late, but do you really think Fate 4 can wander this far away from the town? It sounds a little far-fetched to me. It's not a distance you'd think a child would be able to cover on foot, right? Normally, I wouldn't believe it, but if Vanir-sama says so, there's no doubt about it. Lowly succubus relied only on her unwavering trust in Sir Vanir to dispel Yun's doubts. Lin didn't open her mouth, only silently staring at me, as if waiting for me to say something. It's fine if Sir says it. He enjoys toying with humans, but he wouldn't. Suddenly, my head started spinning and my vision blurred. I fell to one knee, unable to withstand the sudden bout of vertigo. What happened? Did you stub your toe on a rock or something? You should be less clumsy. I couldn't even muster a response to Lin's ribbing. What's with this sudden sensation? I took a few deep breaths to regain my composure so my companions wouldn't find out. Seems like last night's wine hasn't fully gone out of my body yet. I'll catch a break here, so you guys go on ahead. I sat down facing the lake and casually waved my companions onwards. What a hopeless man. Make sure you catch up with us, okay? Take it easy on the wine. It'd affect our jobs too. We'll go on ahead. After confirming that the 3 of them have left, I drew closer to the lake and took a good look at my reflection. My eyes staring back at me were slightly redder than usual. So that's what's going on. Ignoring my nausea, I got to my feet and sped off in a different direction than the other 3. I jumped into the thicket of trees around the lake and sharpened my senses. The smell of greenery and earth came to me much sharper than they normally would. She must be close. Where are you, Fate 4? I heard the sound of something crashing against the earth from deep within the forest. That's the sound of trees breaking. And it's not just 1 or 2 trees. Something large is smashing its way through the trees as it made its way forwards. Normally, I'd avoid running into a monster if I can, but this time, I headed straight for the source of the noise. The sound gradually became louder. At the same time, I could feel the ground shaking beneath my feet. Something large is rampaging around. This is most likely. My nausea worsened as I drew closer. These feelings welling up from my gut. Is that rage? And sadness? And it wasn't just that, a large variety of emotions came flowing into me. As I ran towards what seemed to be the source, I stepped on something round beneath my feet and almost tripped. Pant. Don't throw your trash out here. What's with this mountain of vegetables? Hey, wait, aren't these mandrakes? Oh yeah, that problem priest of the Axis cult threw out most of the mandrakes that she took, right? So this is where they dumped it. Looking over the pile, quite a few of the mandrakes had chunks bitten out of them. I see, so she's delirious after eating this. That explains why she's rampaging around. Trying my best not to succumb to my nausea, I carried on ahead and stumbled into a clearing. A large number of trees have been knocked aside, and standing right in the middle is a single white dragon. Unlike other dragons, this one was more beautiful than it is scary. Its pure white scales shone magnificently in the sunlight, and when it spread its wings as a threat display, it looked almost like an angel descending from the heavens. This is why it's not only considered an omen of wealth and luck, but also fetch high prices as ornamental pieces. And on its neck is a single necklace with a red gem. Gra! A loud roar cut me off. This species is known to have a gentle and cautious demeanor, but this one bared its fangs at me in an overt display of hostility. Its normally pearly black eyes are instead red with the color of fresh blood. Hey, calm down. You're just confused because you ate something bad. The feeling of nausea in my head is getting stronger, but I fought to keep it down and slowly approached the dragon. When I advanced, the dragon shrunk back, even while keeping up its threat display. It's fine, there's no need to be afraid. Everything will be alright. Saying that, I slowly extended my hand. Dust, what are you doing? Lightning. A sudden flash of white light shot past my vision, obscuring the dragon from sight. Looking back, Lin came charging out of the underbrush with her staff pointed dead ahead. Grah! The dragon twisted under the light, but it recovered quickly and turned its blood-red eyes towards Lin. What is it doing here? We followed you because you were acting weird. What are you doing without even drawing your weapon? Do you have a death wish? This guy won't hurt me, so don't interfere. I shouted towards Lin before turning back to the dragon. Sorry, that must have surprised you. The first thing I saw when I turned back was a set of large claws, which came swooping down at me. With the sound of something ripping, my surroundings suddenly turned into a blur. No, that's not it. It's my body that was sent flying back. My flight soon came to a stop when I crashed into a large tree. Gack. That impact knocked the breath out of me, and I had to fight to even draw the most shallowest of breaths. My vision swam with red, but I could barely make out Lin rushing towards me. She seemed to be on the verge of tears. It wasn't an expression I thought I'd see on someone who's normally so headstrong. Dust. Dust. Get a hold of yourself. Come to think of it, someone once called my name with the same, almost sobbing tone before. The sudden shortness of breath only amplified my nausea. This is bad. At this rate, I'm going to pass. Part 8. Is this the end of the line? An uncountable number of monster corpses lay sprawled beneath my feet. I really want to praise myself for taking out such a large number of them, but an even larger horde of monsters stand before me. I stayed behind to hold the line to give my companions a chance to escape, but I suppose this is as far as I can go. My left arm hangs limply by my side, and a cut on my forehead is allowing blood to leak into my right eye, obscuring my vision. My armor is heavily battered, and there are even prominent cracks in several of the plates. It'll probably only take one more good hit to completely shatter it. So this is what they mean by on your last limb. Still, my companions got away. As a knight, this is the end one can hope to achieve. If I die, will she cry for me? That person's face appeared in my mind. I tried to picture her being sad, but all I could imagine is her, hands on her hips, angrily yelling that she won't allow me to die without her permission. Even though I'm at death's door, I couldn't help but smile. It's too early to give up. I can't push such a troublesome task off onto someone else. Plus, she isn't the only one waiting for me. I promised that I'd always be with her. Breaking a promise would be taboo as a knight. I thrusted my spear at an approaching monster, and the shaft split in twain. I might have lost my favorite weapon, but I still had my sword. And if my sword's gone, I still have my fists. And if my fists are gone, well, I'll just have to bite them to death. I can't die here yet. With the desperate strength of a man on the edge, I brought my sword to bear. Several of the monsters came charging at me right this instant. Death might be just around the corner, but I'll fight till my last breath. I managed to raise my sword into position, but I no longer had the strength to swing it. As a final act of resistance, I stared directly at the monster charging at me. Just before its claws could reach me, my vision became covered in white. That was a pure white dragon. Did you come back for me, partner? Even if it is a dragon, nothing could take on such a large number of monsters without injury. As she threw itself into the horde, her beautiful body became covered in wounds and speckled with blood. Even so, the dragon fought on desperately to help me. Mustering the strength to press on in spite of my ragged state, I charged into battle by her side. Part 9. Something white is slowly approaching. I was taken out by her. Why did she take me out? Did I do something to make her angry? No, I was searching. No, wait, who was I searching for? Someone is crying next to me. Her face, it's the princess. And a dragon is approaching her. I am a knight in charge of ensuring the princess's safety. Now is not the time to be sleeping. Please be at ease, I'll definitely protect you. Even though I still felt a little shaky, I stood up and put myself between the princess and the approaching dragon. Now is not the time to be fooling around. We need to hurry up and run. I will protect you with my life. Even if I lose my life while protecting the princess, it's a point of honor as a knight. I tried to raise my spear, but apparently I must have lost it somewhere, so I drew my spare sword from my waist. Despite being my first time holding this sword, it sits nicely in my hand. Wait, first time. Then what was it doing on my waist? No, now is not the time to be thinking about such things. Protecting the princess comes first. Just then, the princess pulled upon my cheeks and pushed her face close to mine. Stop saying such disgusting things. You were never such a serious person. You are always more underhanded and selfish and create nothing but problems. But even so, you'd say something stupid and resport to whatever underhanded tricks you have to in order to survive. That's what you are, Dust. What is the princess screaming about? My name is Line Shaker, a proud dragon knight. Not Dust or whatever she's calling me. Princess, please get a hold of yourself. That's my line. Your eyes are still red. You must still be seeing stars. Oh, I'll have to use my last resort. The princess brought her face even closer to mine. Just before our skin would have made contact, she suddenly drew her head back. And then, she brought her forehead crashing down against mine. Ouch, that hurt. How is your head so hard? Arg, that hurt quite a bit, but it seems like you've regained your senses. Can you tell me your name? It's Dust, obviously. Did something go wrong with your head? That's my line. Idiot. My head is still slightly fuzzy, as though it's filled with fog, but I can put that by the wayside. Just like all these pent-up feelings of frustration and self-loathing. Me in the past would probably be caught up thinking about some useless things, but right now, I'm Dust. And you should stop panicking too. I've told you not to eat stuff you find on the floor, right? I angrily scolded the white dragon who was glancing down to the side with one claw on her forehead while we were talking. My annoyance must have gotten through, for she shook her head as if she was trying to come up with an excuse while folding her wings behind her. Is the white dragon scared? If you don't come to your senses right now, you're not going to have any dinner tonight. When I shouted, the white dragon trembled for a brief instant. I thought she might regain her senses, but her eyes remained red and she opened her mouth. A dark flame blazed at the back of her throat, past the lines of sharp teeth lining her maw. Is she planning to use her breath weapon at such close range? By myself, I would be able to get out of the way in time, but Lin is beside me. I kicked off with all my might and closed the distance with a single leap. When did you become so good at jumping? At the same time as Lin's surprised voice, a blazingly hot burst of fire came roaring at me. At this angle, Lin won't be caught in the blast. The jet of flames shot past me, singeing my clothes with the heat. I clenched my fists tightly. Knock it off already, Fate 4. The moment I got within range, I swung my fist at her head. A loud smack echoed throughout the forest, and the shockwave from my blow resonated through the grass and weeds. As for the white dragon, it stumbled around in a daze for a few moments before collapsing on the ground. Then, a faint light came from the dragon's body, and it started to shrink. Within moments, the dragon has completely disappeared, leaving a much smaller form where it once lay. The form of Fate 4. Lin opened her mouth like that of a goldfish, seemingly completely taken aback by this sight. Sorry, my head became weird after eating those veggies. I didn't want to hurt you, Dust, but my body didn't do what I wanted. Fate 4 managed in a wavering voice, tears flowing down her cheeks. Seems like she has reflected well enough on her actions. I placed my hand on Fate 4's head and gently patted her. Seems like you've regained your senses. If you're sorry about that, I'll forgive you. I'm this close from being charbroiled, but never mind that. And, well, sorry for leaving you alone for so long. I shouldn't have left her all alone back home. I thought that she'd be treated much better there than following someone like me who has lost my status as a Dragon Knight, but it seems like I was mistaken. After reuniting with me after such a long time, she must have been taken aback by how much I've changed and been at a loss as to how to treat me. I didn't expect you to visit me as a human. My home country knows a lot more about dragons than any other, and as a Dragon Knight, I too have been privy to some classified information, but even so, this was a shock to me. Within the first 100 years of their lives, dragons are considered lesser dragons. After that, they become greater dragons who are about as smart as a human and can understand human speech. After many years spent as a greater dragon, they might awaken to their ego, become an elder dragon, and become capable of assuming a human form. It was just an unconfirmed rumor back then, but to think that it was actually true. Back when I left her, she was only just becoming a greater dragon. To think that she would become an elder in such a short period of time. She must have come searching for me after finding herself being surrounded by unfamiliar faces while being unused to her new body. Seems like I have a lot of things to apologize for. No, I love you, Dust. She jumped up onto my chest, so I held her and lifted her up. Come to think of it, she used to rub her face into my chest the same way, didn't she? I really envy children who can say such things without any care in the world. Did you say something, Lin? Not really. I knew that you were hiding something, but to think that the true identity of the white dragon was Fate 4. They say that when a person receives too many surprises at once, they'll instead act calmly. I think I've experienced that firsthand. Lin drew close with a wry smile on her face. I thought she'd be much more afraid after learning her true identity, but she's taking it in stride pretty well. Say, can you keep this a secret? I mean, it'd be pretty troublesome if anyone else knew. Yeah, fine. If people knew that Fate 4 was a white dragon, she'd become a target. Plus, not only Fate 4, you'd be troubled too, right? Saying that with a wink, Lin gave me a most uncharacteristic smile. Part 10. I kicked down the door that led to the hidden room underneath the mansion and jumped inside. Get down. I'm Line Shaker of the Bra-Idol Royal Knights. We have received information that a white dragon is being kept in this location. If you cooperate, the judge will be lenient on you. I boldly declared myself as a knight, but nobody responded. I thought I felt a presence behind the door, but it seems like nobody is here. It's a little embarrassing. Ahem. With my sword drawn, I advanced deeper into the room. Despite being underground, the ceilings were quite high, and while it's quite spacious, it has a certain barren feel about it with almost no furniture present. The walls, floor, and ceiling were covered with thick iron plates. It must be meant as a measure to keep anything held inside from breaking out. And right in the very back is a single monster kept within a sturdy-looking cage. Even though this room is only faintly lit up, the creature's body seemed to illuminate its surroundings just by virtue of its pure white body. The dragon's red eyes are sharp, and it bared its fangs at me. Roo-air. A fearsome roar left my eardrums ringing. The force of that roar was a little louder than I expected, but nonetheless, I threw my sword on the floor. A thick chain is connected to the white dragon's neck, and its body is covered in numerous wounds. From what I've heard, white dragons can make use of holy magic, yet it isn't healing its wounds at all. In other words, this cage must be a magic item that inhibits the use of magic somehow. How horrible. This creature isn't really want to threaten me, it's simply afraid of humans. Come on, I've tossed away my weapon. There's nothing to fear. You can relax. I approached the dragon with both arms extended to demonstrate my peaceful intentions as it produced a low growl. The cage holding it might be tight enough to prevent the dragon from slipping through the bars, but there's more than enough space for me to go through. Soon, I was close enough that it could simply bite my head off with a simple lift of its neck. It did open its mouth wide, showing of its rows of sharp teeth, but I can easily tell it was only putting on a threat display. I couldn't detect a single ounce of killing intent from it. Perhaps surprised by my unflinching reaction, it closed its mouth and looked me over curiously. You might have heard my name earlier, but I'll properly introduce myself. My name is Line Shaker. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. As I extended my hand, the dragon raised its head and pressed its cheek against my palm. If you are okay with it, would you like to make a covenant with me? You know what that means, right? One who has made a covenant with a dragon can gain a measure of power when the dragon is close by. In exchange, I'll be able to draw out your true powers as a dragon. The white dragon appeared to be smart enough to understand my words, and seemed to be seriously thinking it over. I'll never betray someone I've made a covenant with. From now on, we'll share in both joy and pain. Well, at the end of the day, all's well that ends well. As usual, we were gathered at tavern in the Adventurers Guild. We told our companions who came rushing towards us after seeing the commotion that we ran into the white dragon, but it ran away, after which Fate 4 came running to us. They probably wouldn't have believed me if I was alone, but Lin managed to smooth everything over, so it seems like we managed to get them to believe it. It's all thanks to Sir's divination that we found her. Isn't it a little too accurate? It's kinda scary. Oh, by the way, what did you do for the fee? Oh, I told him to put it on my tab. The truth is, I had to give him a strand of Fate 4's hair and a little bit of her nail clippings. Even just a small part of a white dragon's body is plenty valuable. Kazuma also managed to take care of Serena somehow. Why did I become so infatuated with her in the first place? To think Serena was a Demon King's general. Just thinking that we could have been caught up in her spell too sends chills down my spine. Keith and Taylor's shoulders drooped a little. As it turns out, Serena had a certain special ability that allowed her to charm anyone who thinks they owe a debt to her. Even simple feelings of gratitude can end up with you being turned into a puppet. Casting spells on the other adventurers for free seems to have been a plot to get them to feel indebted to her, and these two ended up falling right into her trap. Now then, we can enjoy our meal free of any worries. As promised, you can eat as much as you want. These two people will be treating you. I'll do my best. Please show some moderation. Keith and Taylor looked a little pale, but who cares about that? Fate 4 enthusiastically nodded when she heard me say she can eat as much as she wants. Her expression didn't change much, but I can tell that she's practically over the moon. I'm not entirely sure what to do about her in the long term, but for now, she seems to be content staying by my side and doesn't seem to have any intention of going back home. As for me, I'm fine with letting her do as she wishes. Though, they are probably in a right panic back home after a white dragon went missing. With no idea of the thoughts going through my head, Fate 4 happily ordered everything on the menu apart from alcohol and smiled contentedly. Taylor and Keith had enough money to pay for it, but, well, that's just it. My condolences. I wanted to order some wine for myself, when I remembered something that was bugging me. Oh, yeah, how did you find out where I was? When I whispered to Fate 4 sitting beside me, she seemed to jump up in shock. I forgot to tell you. The princess told me that you were here. What? Seriously? I blurted out. Hey, she knows about this place? Yes. And she said she'd be coming by to visit soon, so I should send you her regards. Damn it, after overcoming one crisis, another awaits me. I was planning on letting loose today, but I think it's best to go easy on the alcohol. Knowing that she is coming here, I have nothing but bad premonitions about the future. Epilogue: a woman stares out into the starry sky on the balcony of the castle. The woman wore an exquisite dress that is sure to make any girl green with envy. Her glossy shoulder-length blonde hair sways lightly in the night breeze, and she closed her eyes contentedly. The woman noiselessly walked over to the railings and leaned over them, reaching out to the stars above. Princess, I hope you're not planning on sneaking out at night. The man who emerged from the corner of the balcony was an older man wearing a full formal suit complete with a tailcoat. His white hair is carefully slicked back, and his mustache is the same color as his hair and equally well cared for. His posture is like that of a picture, standing stock straight without wobbling an inch. Gramps, don't you think it's a little rude to be sneaking into the bedroom of a woman like this? My apologies. I'll accept any lecture you intend to give me, but for now, can you please let go of that rope? Tisk! She let go of the rope that has been painted black to blend into the night, which made a loud smack as it hit the ground. I'll let you win tonight, Gramps. Be thankful. Oh my, for you to admit defeat so easily, has something happened? Usually, you would have let loose with darts tipped with paralytic poison and offensive magic. Come now, there's no reason for me to resort to such barbaric acts. Oh ho ho. She surreptitiously kicked the poison-tipped dart by her feet off the balcony. The battle between the princess who wishes to sneak out of the castle and the butlers and maids that seek to stop her is well known around these parts, and today isn't anything special. Well, let's leave it there for today. Still, did something happen? You seem much happier than usual. Oh, you noticed. I was just having fun picturing that girl meeting up with him. That girl you're talking about. So that commotion was your work, as I suspected. Even though I'm sure you are aware just how important she is to our country. The butler placed a hand on his forehead and shook his head. Even though he had an inkling of it, it seems that learning the truth was still a shock to him. Gramps, there's no need to worry about me trying to sneak out anymore. We are heading to the kingdom of Belzerg the day after tomorrow, right? I'm looking forward to this trip, so I'll promise not to do anything stupid until then. If you'd promise to do that forever instead of just 2 days, it'd make this geezer's life a lot easier. Well, you'll have to provide me with a better deal. After hearing such carefree words, the butler took a deep sigh, before swiftly vanishing from the balcony. Line, I'm looking forward to seeing how you've changed. Foo-foo. The princess whispered into the night breeze. Afterward, oh my, it's the 5th volume, everyone. When this spin-off was first entrusted to me, I was terribly worried that this endeavor might be abandoned after the first volume, but it's managed to make it to a grand total of 5 volumes. That secret of dust will be made clear in this volume. I'm sure many of my readers will be completely taken by surprise by what dust truly was in his past. Sorry, I went too far. With all the various hints and information we've left in the previous volumes and the main work, I'm sure most of you already have some idea about that. Still, this is the first time I've put the old dust to paper, so it might feel a little a little different than what you are used to, but that what dust really was like in the past. Really, dust's past and origins aren't my original creations, but are based off the notes that Akatsuki Natsume-sensei gave me. The white little girl is my original creation, however. I'm writing a spin-off work, so I've done my best to limit the introduction of original characters, using side characters that appeared in the main work or other spin-offs. This would be the first time an original character of mine has taken a main role. Oh, yeah, she'll be the first. Though I've introduced the general shop owner and the lowly defense force as side characters. As you know, KonoSuba as a series is chock full of unique and colorful characters. I tried to give her a colorful personality of her own so that she could stand together with them. What did you think of her? Come to think of it, most of the women around tend to be fairly lacking when it comes to the chess department. I didn't set out with that goal in mind, so how did it end up like this? Now, then, allow me to touch on the volume itself. As usual, this volume concerns what Dust and company are doing in the background while the events of the story are taking place. However, of note is that this volume takes place concurrently with volume 15. The significance of this will become clear in the next volume, I believe, so look forward to it. Now then, as usual, I should give thanks to everyone who have helped me along the way. Akatsuki Natsume-sensei, thank you for approving the new character. Though, he almost never refuses anything. No, it's pretty much never, to the point where I'm actually more worried that his editor might step in and beg him to refuse something. Mishima Kuron-sensei, your illustration of Serena was truly amazing. There are a lot of scenes in Vol 15 where she was subjected to Kazuma's tender ministrations. Thank you very much. Yuki Hager-sensei, thank you for providing the wonderful illustrations for this volume too. Especially for rendering the original character in such a cute way. I can die a happy man now. Seeing your characters that you've written be brought to life in such a way really sends all your stress about writing flying away. Everyone in the editorial department of Sneaker Bunko, Mr. M who was in charge, and everyone involved in getting this book to the shelves, thank you very much. I believe the best form of thanks is to have all that effort result in an enjoyable work, so I did my best to create that this time too. And to everyone who picked up this volume, thank you. I hope to have your support in the future too. Hirokuma Short Story 1, working at the succubus shop, I'll be in your care today. Dust, do you understand that money will be gone if you use it? Even though I gave her a jovial greeting, lowly succubus asked me such a foolish question. Normally I would shoot back with a retort of my own, but I can't afford to do that right now. Don't say that. If you just sit on your money, the economy won't turn, you know? My money make their rounds around the town and cause the wheels of prosperity to turn. Whatever meager funds you have barely holds a candle to even the lowliest of minor nobles, you know? You really aren't cute at all. I don't really want you to find me cute anyways. But Vanir-sama is a different matter. She must have been imagining a scene of Sir Vanir praising her, as a blush crept up her face and she fidgeted excitedly. We are in the succubus shop, so she was wearing her lingering light clothing. Normally, moving around like that while wearing such revealing clothes is dangerous in a lot of ways, but with her petite figure, it doesn't do anything for me at all. All the other succubi have amazing bodies, so why is she the only one who doesn't seem to grow at all? Well, everyone values different things. The way you look at me when you say that kind of pisses me off. Hey, you shouldn't use that kind of tone when talking to a regular customers. Sorry, Dust. The succubus in charge apologized on behalf of lowly succubus. She's lowly succubus's superior in all respects, and seeing those peaks wobble when she gives me a bow makes me forgive absolutely everything. Don't worry about it. More importantly, I'll be in your care for today's work. Yes, we'll be counting on you as a handyman and bouncer. The succubus in charge bowed, lowly succubus reluctantly followed. Due to certain events, I was barred from working at the Adventurers Guild for several days, so I had to make do with a part-time job here for now. Right then, I'll leave explaining the details to you. Understood. Dust-san, please try your best to avoid doing anything unnecessary. Yeah, I won't do anything, so don't worry. Please actually do some work. I've been attached to lowly succubus for the day, so I think I'll try and avoid causing any incidents. She brought me by the doors and told me to please stand guard there, so I leaned against the wall and looked out into the store. Just seeing the succubi walk around in such revealing clothes made me want to earn some money as fast as possible. It's still early, so there aren't many customers yet, but soon enough this place will be filled with numerous burly adventurers. Almost as if on cue, a pair of adventurers that I've run into on a few occasions came strolling into the store. What dream are you going to get today? Being lectured by an older girl is great, but pampering someone younger sounds nice too. I'm going for a love with someone of a much higher social status than me. It's a dream after all, so I might as well go for a situation that is impossible in reality. Welcome, dear customers. I'm an employee today, so I welcomed them as instructed, but they instead stared at my face. What are you doing, Dust? It's kinda creepy. If you are ordering a dream, then go home and sleep already. What are you doing hiding behind the door for? It seems like they didn't even consider that I'm working here. But, well, I suppose that's to be expected. I'm working here today. If you are looking for a dream, I have a few suggestions that you might appreciate. I don't need it. Nobody wants to know what your tastes are. What? I'm genuinely offering to help you here, and this is how you treat me. Just when I'm considering teaching this cheeky bastard a lesson, someone smacked me on the head. What are you doing? I turned around, and standing right there was lowly succubus with a serving tray in hand. Please don't pick a fight with the customers. I apologize for any trouble this good-for-nothing has caused. Ah, it's fine. Lolisa-chan, you must have your hands full dealing with this guy every day. You two have been spending a lot of time together recently. Don't tell me you two are. The two of them glanced between the two of us, before looking at each other. Wait, that is not the dash. That is impossible. There's no way I could be with such a debt-ridden, scummy, and worthless person. In the first place, I'm a succubus. The only person I have eyes for is Vanir-sama. This girl. There's no need to deny it so strongly that you're red in the face. You got it. I have no interest in you, either. The way you're saying it like you don't even see me as a woman kind of pisses me off. You really are a troublesome girl, you know that? While we were arguing, the two adventurers went to take a seat and started filling out their forms. Lowly Succubus seemed to have calmed down after saying what she wanted to say, and went back to her work. I had nothing else to do, so I returned to my job of standing at the door. Good work today. I'll be back tomorrow. After work ended and I received my pay, I said that. Please don't come back anymore. X3 but they instantly rejected me. Dust-san, you keep peeking at the forms the customers fill out and saying comments like, ooh, you have some good tastes. And, isn't this level of play a little too high? So all the customers keep getting scared away. Short story 2, working at the magic item shop, I'll be in your care today. Thank you very much, Dust-san. After waking up early and dragging myself to the magic item shop, the beautiful shopkeeper, Wiz, greeted me. I think it's best not to hire Dust, but... Standing next to the gently smiling Wiz and saying such unflattering words is Lowly Succubus, once again as flat as usual. Stop saying unnecessary things. It's not like this has anything to do with you. True, I might not have a stake in this, but I have to protect this store while Vanir-sama is away. It's your business what you want to get excited over, but at this point, you're basically just squatting here. It's fine. Usually, nothing much happens here, so there shouldn't be any problem. Plus, it's nice to have a guy around to lend a hand. It's good to hear that it'd be an easy job. I can't work at the guild for 3 days, so this really helped me out. Ugh. I can't help but feel uneasy about this. There's no need to worry. I'm the type of man who doesn't do anything without being told, so you can relax. Please properly do your work. I come to this store every so often, and I hardly ever see any customers around, so it'll be fine. Space. After unloading some goods from the backrooms, I'm pretty much done with work. Cleaning and arranging the products on the shelves is all handled by Lowly Succubus. There aren't any customers, so Wiz simply stood in front of the counter with a smile on her face. Having run out of stuff to do, Lowly Succubus went to the backrooms to clean up there. Seems like it'd really be an easy job after all. Good day. Oh, is Vanir-san not in? I see, so he isn't in. A somewhat rotund man came into the store and took a look around. Welcome. Oh my, thank you for your help the other day. Wiz came out and gave the man a bow. It seems like he's an acquaintance of hers. I've brought several items with me today. Well, Vanir-san told me not to take any more useless products. The staff that multiplies the power of any spell you cast by 3 that I bought from you the other day turned out to be a useless product that causes the caster to fall over from mana exhaustion after casting even beginner spells. Vanir-san got really mad at me over that. Oh, so she actually does keep Sir Vanir's instructions in mind. It seems like she's learnt after buying so many items that turned out to be completely unsellable and being charred to a crisp by Sir's mysterious beams each time. Don't worry, this definitely isn't a useless product. This item will definitely be a big hit with the town, so Vanir-san will definitely be happy with it too. I dare say that it'll make him apologize for the way he's treated you in the past. Ah really? Well, I'll hear you out at least. Hold it. Don't change your mind so easily. And you, don't take advantage of when Vanir-san isn't here to offload your unsellable goods here. Get out. What is wrong with you? I came in here with a product that'll definitely make us both rich. Yeah, it'll only make you rich. I forcibly dragged the protesting man out of the store. So this is she ends up wasting so much money on useless goods. Sir Vanir sure does have his hands full. Sir told you not to buy anything. Where did you come from? Before I noticed it, Aqua was standing by the counter having a chat with Wiz. She must have slipped in while I was dealing with that man. Listen to this, Wiz. Kazuma-san told me to stop coming to this store to play. Why would he do that? I'm more than happy to have you as our guest. Right? He said some incomprehensible things like you're causing trouble for Vanir, so cut it out already. No, you should understand it. You do nothing but cause problems in this store. Ah, right, that's not what I came here to for. Listen to this, I have a brilliant money-making idea dash. The door is over there, please go home. Hey, you'll receive divine punishment for grabbing a goddess's neck. I'll tell Kazuma that you're causing trouble for Sir Vanir if you keep this up. Aqua put up quite a bit more resistance than that merchant earlier, but I managed to get her out the door eventually. She stopped resisting once she heard Kazuma's name, so she shouldn't be a problem for the rest of the day. Wait, wasn't this supposed to be an easy job? Why do I feel so tired? Does Sir Vanir have to put up with this every day? Managing a store sure isn't easy. Afterwards, I fended off a few other attempts from enterprising merchants to unload their wares here. I even managed to offload a few items onto Yun Yun when she came in for a visit. All in all, it was a busy day. On the bright side, Sir Vanir was in a really good mood when he returned, and gave me a few extra heiress on top of the money we agreed on. With this, I'll be able to tide things over until I can take on quests again. 2 days later, I found myself back at the magic item shop. I've run out of money. So do you think I can work here for dash? The door is over there.